It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
That's going to do it. Fair ball, Brandon Lau. Cook is in, and the Pirates find themselves even with Arizona. A thriller in Pittsburgh tonight. And Lindor cranks one to deep left field for get back. Lindor puts the icing on the cake on a long 3-run homer. His second home run of the night, a 6 RBI game for Lindor.
The chase for the squirrel is on, and the squirrel is in the corner, and the squirrel is still eluding an entire horde of grounds crew members. And the squirrel's free once again. Hemmed in? No, I won't be hemmed in. I have freedom on my mind.
Base hit! Kids that losing streak goodbye! And good night! Griffin Conine walks it off! And the Marlins score 3 in the ninth to win it!
Got him! A 100-mile-an-hour fastball to blow him away. And Louis Varland picks up his 22nd save of the season.
And with that, we bring you into the Sam Bourquin Show. Good afternoon, everybody. AM 1310 WDPN. Another beautiful day here in Alliance, Ohio, Stark County, Northeast Ohio. We'll be with you till 6 o'clock tonight. Let's get the phone numbers out there to you. 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. You can always get your text in. And, of course, the Q92 radio YouTube channel is open. We're ready for business. We got the chat open for you. So we want you to dive in there, and let's have a little fun here on this, what is today? Tuesday afternoon. Sam Bourquin here. Ryan Rainsberg is over here on the other side of the glass, and we're excited. We got, hey, look, no Guardians highlights yet. We had a rain out last night. Boy, it was, whew. Anybody see any of the video last night from the ballpark down in Cincinnati? They did not play, and I don't think they would have ever got that game in last night if they tried. So they decided to call it. They went into like rain delay format. See, the game was supposed to be at 7:10. They put the word out around 6-ish that they were going to start in a delay. And they had the tarp on the field, and there was no rain at 6. There was no rain at 6:30. There was no rain at 7. But a little bit after that, boy, did the heavens open up down in Cincinnati. It was wild. So it's good move, good call last night. They did not play. So they decided, let's come back tomorrow, which is today, and play a day-night doubleheader. And then we'll give you an update on the game right now. And then tonight it will be another ball game at 7:10. So right now it is the Guardians 4 and the Reds 2. And I believe we're in about the 4th inning. I'll have to refresh the computer here. One big hit today for the Guards, and it was a granny, right? Grand slam by Kyle Manzardo. That actually put the Guardians up 4-0. They've since given up a couple. Sakona gave up a couple of runs. So it's 4-2 Guards, and we're in game 1 of that doubleheader down in Cincinnati. Of course, we will constantly update you all afternoon with what's going on with the game. We'll give you the stats. Of course, we'll have to wait till the game's over before we play highlights. That's due to rules and regulations by MLB, and we're cool with that. But I've already got that grand slam over to Rainsberg. He's got it queued up, and when we're able to play it, we will certainly do that. So we'll keep you in touch with what the Guardians are doing today in the Reds day-night doubleheader down at the Great American Ballpark. NFL training camps are firing up here, there, everywhere. Browns get going tomorrow. Can you believe it? It's that time. Not OTAs, not form running classes, not meet and greets. This is training camp. It's that time of the year. We're ready to go. A lot of camps have already opened up. The Browns will officially open up tomorrow. Interesting article by Chris Easterling in the Beacon Journal. And I'm going to go through this a little bit today. He predicted the Browns' 53-man roster. And he had some interesting cuts on the team. And I'm going to go through that a little bit later today. We'll also go back inside the Browns quarterback room today with Shedeur v. Our guy Deshaun Watson. What is really eventually going to happen with Dylan Gabriel? And we'll get into that a little bit today. Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers, there will be no more talking about a contract at this point. Baker's he's going to come to camp, and he's going to play out the final year, and we'll see what happens. You can almost see where this is going, but it'll depend on what kind of year he has with Tampa Bay this year. Kind of betting on himself again. What else would you expect Baker Mayfield to do? I'm interested to see how they do this year. Vita Vea just came out last night and said he wanted traded. All right. Baker's going to go into his last year of his contract. There's no more negotiations there. Veteran Jamal Adams has signed a 1-year contract. He has found the team for 1 more year. We'll get into that as well. We're going to talk, we're going to talk finances today with Notre Dame and Ohio State. I don't know if you saw this today. Ohio State has announced an agreement, an advertising partnership, if you will, with the J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. And they're going to have patches on the jerseys of all players of every sport at the university. And the deal shakes out to about $17 million a year. A year. Okay. Let that digest a little bit. About 90 minutes later, here comes Notre Dame. They have an agreement, an advertising partnership with SoFi. $20 million a year.
Jeez.
Folks, this is where we are headed. And I hate to say it, but every time one of these things happens, especially at one of the big boy schools, we are getting closer and closer to everything separating. It's the haves versus the have-nots. It's the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Now, I know these are extreme because it's Ohio State and Notre Dame we're dealing with. But where you're talking about $17 million a year, $20 million a year for a partnership to put a patch on my jersey. Okay. And I know there's other things that go into these partnerships with, scoreboard signage, announcements over the PA, probably a suite at the stadium, all that stuff that goes on. But here's the problem. If Ohio State's bringing in $17 million from Chase, if Notre Dame's bringing in $20 million a year from SoFi, what's Akron and Kent bringing in? What's UNLV bringing in? What is New Mexico bringing in? What's Florida A&M bringing in? What's Rhode Island bringing in? Even some of the other schools outside of the Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, look at the Pac-12 schools. I bet a lot of you, and if you gave me the quiz right now, I'd probably fail it. I bet most of you don't even know who's in the Pac-12 conference now. I bet you don't even know. You'll probably get 2 right because they're the holdovers from the last several decades, Washington State and Oregon State. I bet you don't know who else is in there. And that's okay. What about San Diego State? They're a new member of the Pac-12. Even the lower tiered power schools. Like, you think some of these other schools are going to be able to bring in this kind of money? And this is yearly, by the way. This isn't like, okay, here's your 20 mil, and then that's it for the rest of the contract. Nope, that's every year. That's every year. Ohio State's going to get a check for $17 million every year from Chase. Notre Dame's going to get a check for $20 million during the life of the contract with SoFi. And this is just one. This is one advertising partner. What about all the other ones that they have? And the boosters. And the money that's coming in from different revenues and different collectives and different fundraisers. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't think Arizona State going to be able to pull off something like this with just one certain advertising partner. And those are some pretty big schools. Those 2 teams used to be in the Pac-12. Now they're in the Big 12. But look at the schools like the Mid-American Conference and the some of the other smaller conferences, the WAC, the Sun Belt. They can't possibly come up with deals like this. They can't. Even your lower tiered teams in like the SEC, like I don't know if Vanderbilt could come up with something like this. Maybe now because of the success they had from Diego Pavia in their football program last year, and their hoops team was pretty good too. But what about like a Mississippi State? Yeah, it's SEC. I don't think that kind of money's flowing down there in Starkville. Just taking a wild guess. I don't think that it is. And it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. And pretty soon, it's the haves versus the have-nots. Pretty soon, the NCAA is probably going to throw their hands up and say, okay, that's it. You guys want to leave? You want to secede? You want to just get away? Go do your own thing? We're done. We can't keep our eyes on this all the time. 2 humongous deals today with Ohio State and Notre Dame. And obviously 2 of the biggest brands, maybe the biggest brands in all of college sports. I would say Texas is a pretty good brand, along with Ohio State and Notre Dame. I think USC is a pretty good brand. I think the U is a pretty good brand. Michigan, gotta say it, it's pretty good brand. But where are we going here? This was crazy. And the fact that it happened, like Ohio State makes the announcement, like, oh, okay, go to Ohio State. And an hour and a half later, boom, here comes big bad Notre Dame. So, yeah, hold my beer. You got 17 million, we got 20. Who's going to be next? Absolutely. It's insane the amount of money. It's insane the amount of money that's being thrown around. It really is.
Yeah, for colleges too, like we're slowly blurring that line between college football and professional football.
Oh, I think we're beyond blurred. I think it's cataracts. I mean, it is
It's almost dissolved completely.
Dissolving away. It's kind of sad. And I know you gotta go with the times. I try to not preach on the show, but say, we got to go with the times, but you know what? It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to let go of the pureness that used to be. I get into conversations with a lot of folks whenever, wherever, about whatever. And it's usually the younger ones that will test me a little bit and try to, I was like, guys, girls, we all live in the same world. I said, you're a little bit younger than I am. But I said, let me tell you this, just because it was older and just because we don't do things like that, depending on what it is anymore, it doesn't mean it was wrong. And it doesn't mean that it wasn't right. We did things for years. We did things for decades. Now, just because something new comes along, might be better, might not be. Might be, might not be. I always try to kind of get that point across. Like, we are losing. We have lost the innocence of college sports. We really have. And the unfortunate thing is now, you know what we're doing now? Where are we watching it trickle down to? High school. And within the next 10 to 15 years, you may not recognize high school athletics the way we do now. Now, are kids going to be making money? Yep. Are more kids going to be making more money? Yep. Maybe some coaches will make some more money.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe there will be, because of advertising partners and high school collectives and, different ways that boosters are able to bring in money. Maybe facilities will be better. Maybe there will be add-ons to different things, different amenities for stadiums and gymnasiums and baseball fields and soccer fields, which is all good. But you have to take with what comes with that. And at that point, you will have lost all the pureness, all the innocence of what high school athletics was all about. You got a lot of new shiny toys here, but what you had to go through to get them and what you continue to have to do kind of takes a little bit away from that. But here's the other thing: as the people that are in their 20s and 30s and 40s now, 15, 20, 25 years from now, they're going to be 40, 45, 50, 60s. They're going to look at things differently. Just like I looked at things differently 10, 15, 20 years ago than I do now. Doesn't mean it was wrong the way we did it. It doesn't mean it wasn't right. It doesn't mean it didn't work. In our minds. What are we, Rainsburg? What's my generation? Z?
Gen X.
Gen Xers look at things a whole lot differently than the Gen Z. Okay? So moving forward here now, and the people that are in the age group, the younger age group now, this is what they're used to. This is all they know. So you can't say, hey, this was back in our day. You can tell them that, and they could probably give you the fisheye, but then you also got to take into consideration, this is all they know. The Gen Z, all they know is the cell phone and the computer. That's all they know. It's how they were brought up. It's what they grew up with. It's what they did. That's what they do. They didn't know anything about cable. People in the radio business, they didn't know anything about the new people. They don't know about cassettes and 8 tracks and reel to reel. That's records. That's all. They don't even know anything about that. Things change. You got to adjust. You got to roll. And you got to take some of the good, some of the not so good, and you got to go with it. But money has been the big equalizer, and I soon fear it's going to be the great divider before everything is all said and done. All right, we got Sammy's best bet coming up at 4:29 today, 5:29. It's on this day in sports history. We got our poll question today. Mount Union football fans and followers and supporters, you're going to love this poll question. We got that coming up, and we are going to also get you back in touch with the Guards and the Reds. We'll check the latest on the scoreboard there. We got a lot of stuff to get into today. So hang out with us, pull up a chair, kick back, get that radio on the patio, tune in your smartphone. Let's go. 1310 WDPN.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, is hiring traffic control flaggers, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Every 65 seconds, someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's disease. Many don't even know it.
I just knew that I wasn't the high-performing person I used to be. Pieces of my past are being erased. I was lucky we caught this at the very earliest stages. I hope that my story can give other people hope. There is life to be lived. Increasingly, there will be treatments. We need to invest even more in research and finding treatments and cures.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's Disease Research Program has invested more than $175 million in breakthrough research.
If your loved one or you yourself are sitting there thinking, something is wrong, I'm not who I used to be, you can get some answers and you can get them for free.
Call us at 1-855-345-6237 or visit us online at brightfocus.org/brainhealth to learn more.
T10 WDPN, welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. We got the news and weather coming up here in just a couple of seconds. Don't forget, we're going to keep you updated on the Guardians and the Reds all afternoon. We go to the top of the sixth inning, and we're tied. Guardians 5 and the Reds 5, top of the sixth down in Cincinnati. All right, well, got some work to do there. News and weather coming up next, 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, President Trump meeting at the White House today to sit down, the first since they launched a joint war against Iran, and offered a chance for Netanyahu to smooth out strains in their relationship. The closed-door meeting lasted nearly an hour and a half. The White House said it was positive and productive. President meeting with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky to discuss Ukraine producing its own weapons amid its ongoing war with Russia. Zelensky calls it a good meeting. Tuesday's White House sit-down followed a NATO summit in Turkey where Trump announced the U.S. will allow Ukraine to make Patriot defense systems. Zelensky thanked the president for the support and emphasized the importance of diplomacy. Senator Lindsey Graham was eulogized in Washington today. His flag-draped casket arriving Tuesday at the U.S. Capitol, where the Republican served for more than 30 years. Vice President J.D. Vance called Graham a swashbuckling character and true American original. Funeral will be held later at Washington National Cathedral. President Trump expected to deliver remarks at the cathedral ceremony. Senate set to confirm Jay Clayton to become head of the nation's intelligence agencies, ensuring a permanent director in place as midterm elections approach. Clayton expected to be confirmed along party lines today after a hearing 2 weeks ago in which he repeatedly refused to say that former President Joe Biden won the 2020 election. Democrats have said they have more confidence in Clayton than in the president's temporary pick for the job, Bill Pulte. Newly uncovered memo from the final days of the Biden administration revealed plans to expand temporary protected status to more than 3 million non-citizens. TPS meant for foreign populations experiencing crises like political unrest or natural disasters. And while President Trump has tried to end the temporary provisions for Haitians, Nepalese, Salvadorans, and Sudanese, lawsuits from pro-migrant advocates have halted most attempts. Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt said his investigation discovered the Biden White House tried to keep millions of illegal aliens in the country by abusing the temporary protected status program. According to News Nation, a massive immigration and customs enforcement operation began in New York City Monday night. The outlet added the move comes more than a month after White House border czar Tom Homan said a surge of officers was coming. The operations began in Queens and are expected to move into other areas today. The Hill reported the surge will primarily target those with prior immigration detainers that were not upheld. A shot was fired at the U.S. consulate in Toronto Monday. The facade of the consulate was damaged, but no people were hurt. CBC reported police were seeking a white Honda Accord. Police chased the car for a time before calling it off due to safety concerns over its speed. March 10th, 2 suspects allegedly fired multiple shots at the building before driving away in a stolen vehicle. An 18 and 19-year-old were arrested in connection with the March shooting, but have yet to be brought to trial. Canada has very stringent gun controls in place, including a firearms license requirement, a red flag law, and a ban on the type of firearms American Democrats describe as assault weapons. 77 degrees at 3:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
80 degrees for your Tuesday afternoon high. We'll see wind gust near 30 miles per hour, so hold on to your garbage can lids. Isolated rain, maybe a rumble of thunder, otherwise partly sunny skies. Overnight lows tonight down to 63 with a mainly cloudy sky. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now.
The Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. All right, Guardians have blown the lead again. 5-5 now in the bottom of the 6th inning. Manzardo hit a grand slam today, put the Guardians up 4-0. Looking good, feeling good. We're going to get him. No, we're not. Slade Ciccone went out and said, you know what? I'm going to give up 1 in the 3rd. I'm going to give up 4 in the 4th. And it's 5-5. So the Reds, 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. The Guards, 5 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Stewart hit a home run today for the Reds. DeLauder got an RBI today. Oh, it's hot down there in Cincinnati. 94 right now. A little humidity. And the Reds and the Guards are 5-5 in the bottom of the 6th inning. They'll do it again tonight, too. Don't forget 7-10 down in the Natty. And we'll see. Well, we'll see what happens here in the first game. Because you're on a bad losing streak now. You got 3 runs all weekend against Tampa Bay. Now, so, okay, great. You put 5 on the board today, and then your pitching goes out and lays an egg. So lots of runs down in Cincy, 5-5 in the bottom of the 6th inning. All right. We got some good stuff coming in here through the chat on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Sam, nobody cares about the 53-man roster for the Browns. All they want to talk about is the quarterback room. Okay. Kevin says, Reds have come back and tied it up. Kevin Spicer's a huge Cincinnati fan. Michael says, Sammy, TV revenue is now a big deal for all college football programs. Michael Young, 1055, says, I wish Mount Union had NIL money. They do have, don't they?
Do they?
Do they? I'm sure they do.
I mean, probably.
They don't have $20 million a year coming from Chase Bank, or SoFi.
No.
But I'm sure there's a little collective in there. Somebody.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Because they're a private college, right? They're not publicly funded?
Correct.
Yeah, so
you've got
there you go.
Division I, you got Division II, like Walsh, Malone, or D2, and Mount's Division III. I'm sure Malone and Walsh have NIL. They have to.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the, like the revenue generating sports like football, basketball, and Walsh, Malone with the basketball. But I'm sure the other schools have. Like your Baldwin Wallace, your Heidelberg, they have NIL. I'm sure they do. But again, are they going to be able to get Company A or Company B to say, hey, I'm going to write you a check for $5 million, put a patch on your jerseys of all your sports teams, give us some signage on the scoreboard, maybe read a couple of announcements over the PA system, and we're good. I mean, that's a lot of money. You got to come up with different ways. Different revenue streams. Like at Ohio State, you can give them their own suite, which is probably the size of our house.
Yeah.
Okay?
Probably.
Some of these other schools can't do that. But therein lies where the great divide is going to come at some point, where the haves and the have-nots and the poor, the rich, the poor, it's all going to funnel out. And then it's all going to come down to who's got the cash, who has the most money, who has the most disposable income at that time, and where do they want to send it? They want to just give it to the school, write a blank check, do whatever you want with it. Or are they going to say, okay, look, I want this to go to the football program and I want to go to the swimming program, and that's it. What about the other? What about the other sports? Who's going to help them? Somebody else is going to have to step up. That's where we're going.
We're going straight to salary caps in college sports.
We're there. That's why there are general managers now at the collegiate level and not just a coach.
Oh my God!
Because the coach can't do all the banking
he's
and
got
all the other stuff. He's
about.
got enough to worry about: coaching, recruiting, keeping his own kids on the team. It's insane. So you need a general manager now. I just listened to it. I listened to a thing this morning. Who's the new football? Kyle Whittingham at Michigan, and he was being interviewed on a podcast. And the guy says, "So how do you handle all this NIL stuff and all this?" He says, "Oh, I don't." He says, I pay somebody. We pay somebody to do that.
Smart man.
He's worried about players. He's worried about the Jimmies and the Joes.
As he should be.
He's not worried. He doesn't have time to be worried about dollar signs and, advertising partners and budgets and revenue and marketing and all that stuff. That's what they pay these people to come in and do. But I will say, when Ohio State came up with that deal today, and I'm going to read you the whole release there. Buckeyes are entering a new corporate partnership with J.P. Morgan Chase that includes jersey patches for all 36 Buckeye teams. It will get them $17 million a year for the athletic program. This is every year now. This is every year over the length of the contract. Now, when I printed this out at 1:12 p.m. It is believed to be one of the biggest non-apparel corporate deals in college sports. Well, here comes Notre Dame. Oh, you got $17 million a year? That's cute. We got 20. We're getting $20 million. We're getting $20 million from Chase or from SoFi. Yeah. So who's going to get the next big one? Texas?
Ooh.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
West Branch? They're going to get They're going to get the next one. Come on. Going back to this Chase thing, J.P. Morgan Chase is a global brand with deep roots in Ohio, making them a natural partner that shares our commitment to innovation, excellence, and long-term community impact. This is from Ohio State AD and money shaker Ross Bjork. Quote, together we have built a comprehensive and historic partnership that reflects the strong commercial strength of the Ohio State athletic identity in the broad college athletics landscape. This relationship creates meaningful opportunities for our student athletes that support the sustained excellence and competitiveness of our athletic programs while honoring the traditions and values of Ohio State. Let me see. Let me summarize that. Thank you for $20 million. That's what that is. That's all that is. And they're not done. They're not done. So Chase gives them $17 million. They're going to go get company X for 10. They're going to go get company Y for 5. And it's just going to keep on building. It's going to keep on building. Look at all the work they're doing at the football stadium. Look all the suites they're putting in. I think this video board they're putting in is actually bigger than a spaceship. Okay?
Whoa.
They're putting in sideline suites. They completely redid the entire audio system, which they needed. But still. And all this stuff, I guess, can't be done without all these tens of millions of dollars. And we're talking about Ohio State now. We're talking about Ohio State. We're talking about a university that has, I believe, probably more alum than anybody else. And they got some people with real deep pockets. They got the Wexners. They got some alum with a lot of cash. And they love Ohio State. They love their university. They keep writing off those checks. Here you go. Go support this team. Support that sport. Support this team. Do that. Build this. Re-enhance that. That's how it goes.
Got Robert checking in on Facebook, says, Ohio State can buy a lot of nice SEC players with that money.
Hey, the Big Ten's got more money than the SEC. Mark that down. And when I say Big Ten, I mean Big 18. There's 18 teams in the Big Ten. There are deeper pockets in the Big Ten than in the SEC. Look at Indiana. Who's writing all the checks for Indiana? Mark Cuban. Okay? Need a quarterback? Where do I sign? All right, Mark, we need about $12 million for this guy. Here you go. Done. Hello, Fernando Mendoza. Hello, national championship. I know it sounds kind of easy, but that's the way it is. That's the way it goes. So who are the next big players going to be? Who's going to write the next big check? Who are the universities going to, quote unquote, get in bed with from the corporate world to shake the tree even more? And at some point, how much is enough? How much do you need? Like Ross Bjork, who came from Texas A&M, and remember a little 5'9" quarterback by the name of Johnny Manziel. You know how much money Johnny Football brought into that university? Ross Bjork was no dummy. He capitalized on Johnny Manziel. They completely reshaped Kyle Field. You ought to see the training center they've got now, the suites that they have now, all because of the money that generated from Johnny Manziel, and A&M had a couple of good years, a couple of good runs on the football field. And you know, down in Texas, everything's what? Bigger. Everything's bigger in Texas. A lot of oil money, a lot of very rich corporate community people down there, a lot of Texas A&M alum. Kyle Field holds 110,000 people. A lot of people go there every home game, okay? So Ross Bjork, who is now the athletic director at Ohio State, he brought that kind of philosophy with him from College Station to Columbus. And you can see him working it, man. You can see it. They're doing stuff with the Schottenstein Center for the basketball programs for the men and the women. They're putting a gazillions of dollars into the Ohio State football facility, Ohio Stadium. They're doing stuff all over campus. This guy knows how to play the game. He knows how to bring the big corporate people to the table. And he hasn't even been there that long. Ross Bjork has done more at Ohio State, fundraising and bringing the players to the table. And I really like Gene Smith. I thought he did a great job. But I think Ross Bjork is kind of running circles around old Gene as far as the cash that's coming into Ohio State. But they got to keep doing it. You know why? Because you got to keep up with the Joneses. Notre Dame says, we're not going to keep up with you. We're gonna raise you one. They pushed all their chips in. And now guess what? Michigan's sitting around going, oh, gee, you better get on the phone with a bank. You better get on the phone with some company. You come on.
Gotta call PNC stat.
We got to build. We can't let these guys run away with this stuff. Alabama, people were on the phone in Tuscaloosa right now saying, hey, what are we going to do down here now? You got to figure something out. People at USC, probably on the phone with a couple of movie stars, probably talking to Snoop, saying, hey, we need some cash. What are we going to do? How are we going to bring it in? Who's the guy Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
Huge USC guy. He's got tons of cash. He's probably working his channels right now. UCLA. We already talked about Texas. What about the teams in the Northeast? Penn State, Pitt, UMass. No, I'm kidding about UMass. But you know where I'm going.
Oh, God.
Where's the money? There's the deep pockets. There's the alum. There's the check writers. Those are the teams. Those are the schools that are going to dominate. And dominate they will. And they will dominate for a long, long time. And then you wonder about the other schools, the other conferences. What's going to happen to them? What's going to happen to the Mid-American Conference? What's going to happen to Akron and Kent and OU and Miami, Toledo, Bowling Green, Eastern Michigan? They're going to fall off the map. They're going to fall off the map, and that's bad. That's bad. Teams in the Mountain West, teams in the Western Athletic Conference, the Sun Belt Conference, the Northeast Conference, the Big West Conference. Changes. If you don't have the money, if you don't have the support, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. But that's a fascinating thing to talk about, not just at the Division I level, but Division II and Division III. Walsh, Malone, Mount Union. And I don't have any numbers to know what it's like at those schools. And being as close to Mount Union as I am, and now our son goes to Walsh, but I don't know the inner workings of, okay, so-and-so gets this amount of money, so-and-so gets, free pizza for a year, so-and-so gets a free car. I don't know how that works at the Division 2 and 3 level. I don't know what the money is. I don't know who's writing the checks or how much or for which sports. I don't know that. It's there. I'm sure someday we'll find out. Maybe it'll just start to happen. Information will just start to flow, and we'll do a little research and say, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then you start asking the questions, okay, which program's getting the most? Which star player's getting the most? Is it just revenue programs? Is it the traditional non-revenue programs? Where's it all going? Interesting thing to talk about. 3:48 is our time. We're going to step away and take a break. 330-821-1310. You can also text the show at 330-944-5179. Get the comments coming. They are rolling in right now at a fast pace on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Get those comments in. We'll read them here throughout the show. We'll step out and take a break. 1310 WDPN.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Where does your generosity to mercy ships go? To a small village in Sierra Leone, to the eyes of a mother, to an operating room, the healing, the anxious wait, until finally, a beautiful smile. To a port in Madagascar, into the hands of a surgeon, to the eyes of the MRI technician, the scalpel, the monitor, the post-op, and finally, a mirror. A tumor removed, replaced by tears of joy. To a small fishing village in Africa, to the hopes of a boy, to his dreams of playing soccer, to the hands of a surgeon, the long recovery, until one day, the joy of finally being part of the team. Where does your generosity go? Wherever mercy does.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Our national parks didn't just happen. They were imagined by those who saw beyond their time. The trailblazers, the bold. They stood on the edges of canyons, walked through history, and understood that these places need us just as much as we need them. Now it's up to us. Join the National Park Foundation to ensure what's all of ours is here forever. Donate at nationalparks.org/trailblazers.
Just to know your name. 17 tracks and I'm at it with this game. I'm breaking my back just to know your name. But heaven ain't close in a place like this. Anything goes, but don't think you might miss. 'Cause heaven ain't close in a place like this.
Welcome back, 1310 WDPN. 8 minutes until the top of the hour. We go to the bottom of the seventh inning. Still Guardians 5 and the Reds 5. Boy, things were looking good early. Big grand slam by Kyle Manzardo in the top of the first. Looking good 4-0. Reds get one back in the third. Okay. 3-1. We go to the top of the fourth. Guards don't score. Bottom of the fourth, the Reds open up a can and they score 4. So now it's 5-4 Cincinnati. Guards come up in the fifth inning, tie the game at 5. Nobody has scored in the sixth. Nobody has scored in the seventh. 5-5 now. We go to the top of the eighth inning in Cincinnati. Again, this is the makeup of the game we lost last night due to the rain. Still a 7:10 first pitch tonight down at the Great American Ballpark. Let's take a look at the pitching line today. Slade. 3 innings, 3 2/3. 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned. Ciccone gives up a home run, strikes out 2, walks 1. Tim Herron comes in, goes a third, gives up 2 hits, 1 run. Alamon pitches 2 innings, struck out 5. Okay, my man. And then Holderman comes in, throws an inning, and strikes out 1. For the Reds today, Chase Burns, 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, gives up a home run, struck out 4, walked 2. Burke throws an inning, gives up a hit. Johnson comes in 1 inning and strikes out 1. Top of the 7th, Reds Guardians are tied at 5. So just kind of going back to this NIL talk as we wrap up the first hour. And I didn't know I was going to go this far into it, but these big deals today for Notre Dame and Ohio State, I think, are just kind of the tip of the iceberg. Like maybe 10, 15 years ago, you would see a school that would sign for something like this, not this big. And that would be like, whoa, that's going to cover, everything. We're good. As big as these deals are, Notre Dame with SoFi and Ohio State with JP Morgan Chase, these are just pieces. These are just pieces of the incredible amount of revenue that will continue to come in on a yearly basis for both of these schools. And as I mentioned now, the other schools are sitting out there going, okay, boosters, marketing people, fundraisers, get on the phone. Get on your computer. Start reaching out. We need to get some of this too. Like there are deals with the conferences, Big 10, Big 12, SEC, Pac-12, where all the schools, all the universities under the umbrella conference get a little piece of the pie. Not these deals today. No. Ohio State's keeping all of that $17 million. Notre Dame is keeping all of that $20 million. And of course, Notre Dame being an independent, they can. This is what I was talking about the other day. Notre Dame, as much as I would love for them to get to the Big Ten, I know a lot of you would like them to go to the Big Ten. Even some Notre Dame people, I think, would like them to go to the Big Ten. When you keep seeing stuff like this, there is no way in hell Notre Dame is ever going to join a conference. No way. They'd have to split that $20 million. They get to keep it all to themselves. I don't know what a conference could do, honestly, to woo a Notre Dame this day and age. I don't know what they could do without completely tipping over the apple cart in the conference.
Yeah, because they pretty much...
And that would probably anger, with a capital A, anger all the other teams in the conference. Oh, you did this for Notre Dame? You're doing this for Notre Dame? You wanted to get them in here so bad, but I don't know. I don't know what these conferences can do. I think I never say never, but I'm starting to think that Notre Dame will never, ever join a conference.
I mean, why would they?
I mean, it just
crazy.
makes dollars and cents for them not to. Which, man, would I love Notre Dame to be in the Big Ten. Ooh, could you imagine? Now, they do play a lot of Big Ten schools over years, over decades, some of the non-conference games. But can you imagine Notre Dame in the Big Ten? Notre Dame, Ohio State, every year. Notre Dame, Michigan, every year. Used to be that way, not now. Notre Dame, UCLA every year. Notre Dame, USC. Used to be, not anymore. Notre Dame, Wisconsin. Oh, we're getting that this year. Notre Dame, Northwestern. Fun game. Probably never going to happen. And I understand why. I get it. I understand. But boy, that would be fun. Especially if these greedy sons of get this 24-team college football playoff in the watered-down regular season that's going to come with it.
Right.
You need a Notre Dame in a conference like that, in like the Big Ten, to have more showcase games. You're forced to play them. You can't say no because you're in the same conference. And that's another discussion for another day. But if they do go to 24 teams, all of a sudden now the college football regular season has been diluted. Diluted. And that's not good either. Well, Sam, more teams are going to get the chance. More teams are going to make the playoffs. Are they going to earn their way in? Is it going to mean as much? You know, I got a few more candles on the cake than some of you all out there. And I completely understand that. Remember when it was the top two? Remember when you had to fight your rear end off to get to the national championship? I'm not saying you don't have to now, but the regular season was where it was at. Every game meant something. Every play, every first down, every matchup. I don't care if it was playing a powder puff non-conference game or it was your rival at the end of the year. Every game mattered. It doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter now the way that it did. Because you're just saying, hey, come on in. If you're one of the top 24, come on in. How much does that devalue the regular season? Look what it's done to high school. And now we've made a little change here. The OHSA backed it down from 16 to 12. But again, it used to be 2. Then it was 4. Then it was 8, where it should be. Then they went to 16. Cheapened the regular season. Cheapened it. Absolutely cheapened it. Made this postseason longer. Now you got to play 16 games. Come on, what are we doing? Now it's down to 12, which is better. But if the college football goes to a 24-team playoff, man alive, that's going to be wild. All right, we got news and weather coming up. We'll take a break. 1 hour in, 2 more big hours to go here on the Sam Bourquin Show. AM 1310, WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. At National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., the late Senator Lindsey Graham is being remembered as a titan of the Senate at his funeral. President Trump delivering remarks calling Graham a fierce ally.
He was a man who gave America the full measure of his good and mighty gave out.
Graham died earlier this month at the age of 71. Authorities in Seattle say a second suspect in Sunday's shooting at a food in custody. Police say they believe the incident may have been gang-related and there could be other suspects involved. Cleanup continues in hard-hit Wisconsin after powerful tornadoes ripped through the town of Menasha in Winnebago County yesterday. Those same storms targeting the Northeast today and could bring torrential rain and flash flooding to areas including New York City and New Jersey. This is ABC News.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Oak Cliff Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. President Art Garnes stepping down after more than a decade on Alliance City Council. Garnes submitted his resignation effective immediately, citing ongoing health issues. Mayor Andy Grove informed council members of the decision Monday. Garnes was elected in 2015 and reelected 5 times, most recently last November. The Starr County Republican Central Committee has between 5 and 20 days to choose his replacement. Councilman Ed Lonis will serve as president pro tem until a new president is appointed. Garnes' unexpired term runs through the end of next year. An Alliance Police Sergeant on administrative leave faces new charges. Ethan Griffith was arrested Tuesday on a felony count of endangering children. Griffith reportedly hit a 4-year-old boy at White House Fruit Farm in Canfield Sunday. Police said the incident took place as the boy was visiting his mother and Griffith, who is her fiancé. Blows reportedly left marks on the boy's face. Griffith is charged in Mahoning County Court in Sebring. Austintown police say Griffith was arrested June 7th after crashing a pickup truck and leaving the scene. He faces multiple charges. Alliance officials say Griffith was off duty and on vacation at the time of that incident. Canton City Council has approved new zoning regulations for data centers. Council voted 8-3 Monday after a 90-minute public hearing that drew more than 50 residents, with dozens of others turned away when chambers reached capacity. New rules require 200-foot setbacks from homes and other sensitive properties, noise studies, limits on generator testing, and buried utility lines with landscaped buffers. Residents argued the changes do not go far enough. An 80-year-old man is being sought by Canton police. Sam Gilmore of Canton has been missing since Saturday afternoon. He is black, 5'7", 155 pounds, with gray hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a black suit coat, white Oxford shirt with blue stripes, black pants, brown boots, and a camouflage hat. He did not return after saying he was going to walk to Woodlawn Market on Woodlawn Avenue in Jackson Township. Gilmore most recently lived in the 2500 block of Roberts Avenue Northwest. Anyone with information can contact Canton Police at 330-649-5800 or the Detective Bureau at 489-3144. Anonymous tips can also be sent to Tip 411 or Starr County Crime Stoppers. Jackson Township man charged in the death of his bedridden mother, 64-year-old Paul Yeager, arraigned Monday in Massillon Municipal Court on felony counts of reckless homicide and failing to provide for a functionally impaired person. Preliminary hearing scheduled for Wednesday. Investigators say the death happened January 28th at their home on Longview Street Northwest, where 91-year-old Paula Blankenship died of hypothermia and environmental exposure. Yeager posted $10,000 bond and was released. Lexington Township voters will be asked to approve a new road levy this November. Trustees today placed a 5-year, $1.5 million levy on the ballot. It would generate about $250,000 a year for road improvements. They say current funding isn't enough to keep roads in good condition. Trustees also approved a vacant lot application for 3 parcels totaling about 48 acres along Webb Avenue Northeast. Richard George plans to build multiple homes on the property, which is currently owned by New Jersey-based Central Waste Incorporated. The company owes about $50,000 in delinquent property taxes that will be cleared when the property is sold. 2 people recovering after a head-on crash in Columbiana County's Perry Township sent both drivers to the hospital. The Highway Patrol says 2 pickups collided around 8:15 this morning on East Pigeon Road after one vehicle crossed the center line. Both drivers suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The crash is under investigation. A former Liverpool Township police chief has been released on bond after being charged with felony domestic violence. 53-year-old Jason Jackson of Wellsville, accused of repeatedly punching a woman during an alleged assault Sunday night. Police say the victim was taken to East Liverpool City Hospital. Jackson posted $30,000 bond after his arraignment Monday. Preliminary hearing scheduled for August 3rd. Driver had to be rescued in Boardman Monday morning after his car went down an embankment off a road in Mill Creek Park. Emergency crews responded to Chestnut Hill Drive just before 10 o'clock. The driver, who suffered minor injuries, was able to extricate himself from the vehicle. Crews were able to carry the man 60 feet up a walking path to the road. Chestnut Drive was closed during the operation. Canfield man charged in a crash that killed a state trooper has pleaded not guilty. 36-year-old Ryan Ratch is charged with aggravated vehicular homicide and aggravated vehicular assault. He was released after posting bond Monday. Mahoning County prosecutors allege he was using a cell phone just before the October 16th crash on Route 11 in Canfield that killed trooper Nicholas Caton and injured the driver of a disabled semi. No pretrial date has been set. A police chase through Youngstown led to a failure to comply charge and drug and weapons offenses against a man wanted on an alliance warrant. Police say 45-year-old Ismael Camacho crashed his car near West Cohasset Drive in Mill Creek Park after fleeing a Saturday afternoon traffic stop on Mahoning Avenue. He ran before being captured. Officers reportedly found a handgun modified for fully automatic fire, as well as 11 Suboxone strips inside the vehicle. Camacho was arraigned Monday, a preliminary hearing set for August 3rd. 78 degrees at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Isolated rain, maybe a rumble of thunder into the afternoon hours today. Partly sunny skies. It's going to be blustery with gusts to near 30 miles per hour and a high today near 80 degrees, cooler and less humid. Overnight, mainly cloudy skies on the way with a low of 63. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
That's going to do it. Fair ball, Brandon Lau. Hook is in, and the Pirates find themselves even with Arizona. A thriller in Pittsburgh tonight. And Lindor cranks one to deep left field. Forget that. Lindor puts the icing on the cake on a long 3-run homer. His second home run of the night. A 6 RBI game for Lindor.
The chase for the squirrel is on, and the squirrel is in the corner, and the squirrel is still eluding an entire horde of grounds crew members. And the squirrel's free once again. Hemmed in? No, I won't be hemmed in. I have freedom on my mind.
Base hit! Hits that losing streak goodbye! And good night! Griffin Conine walks it off! And the Marlins scored 3 in the 9th to win it!
Got him! A 100-mile-an-hour fastball to blow him away. And Louis Varland picks up his 22nd save of the season.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. It is hour 2 here on AM 1310 WDPN, Q92 Radio YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can always listen, participate, and watch our show Monday through Friday, 3 until 6 on the WDPN Facebook page, Sam Bourquin Show page on Facebook, Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We are everywhere. Phone lines open, 330-821-1310.
Sam, I have to ask. I didn't get to ask because we went right on the air. Did the squirrel get away?
The squirrel eventually got seized, but it took like 12 people, including players.
Yeah, those Those squirrels are fast, man.
They are.
They're small and they're quick.
If you're listening to our show opens today, we put in like a little 25-second cut of a squirrel that got loose at Comerica Park last night during the Tigers-Orioles game, and they couldn't corral the squirrel. That play-by-play bite that we played, that was 25 seconds, not even that much, but it went on for a minute. I don't want to take the whole minute up with that.
No, that would have been the whole open.
I'll tell you what I might do. I may send you that whole thing in its entirety, and maybe we'll run it in the show.
Okay,
Like,
so you didn't cut it out of a longer clip?
No, I did.
Oh, okay, so I should have the original.
Yes, you should, because I clipped it on my own. Yeah, so you should still have it.
It looks like I do.
And I think it's about 58.
No, the clip I have
seconds.
is 25 seconds.
Huh. Now we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We'll find that.
I can tell you, we are in the bottom of the 8th now at Cincinnati. Guardians have taken a 6-5 lead over the Reds. Who's going to get the 6 outs here now for us? Obviously, you want to bring in Cade in the bottom of the 9th. Who's going to get us to the bottom of the 9th? This is only game 1 of a doubleheader, by the way. It is scorching hot in Cincinnati right now. And they got to come back and play another game tonight. You certainly do not want this game to go to extra innings. If you're either team, either manager, either bullpen, that's the last thing you want. That's the last thing you want. So 6-5 Guards, 6-8-0 for Cleveland, 5-10-1 for Cincinnati. The Reds have a runner on first and one out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now, who's pitching for us now? Hunter Gaddis is on the mound for Cleveland. So they're going to try to get Gaddis through the 8th and then bring in Cade Smith in the 9th. It's been Staccone, Herron, Alamon, Holderman, and Gaddis for the Guardians today. Reds have used 4 pitchers. Burns, Burke, Johnson, and Mole. All right. Bottom 8, 1 out, Guard 6, Reds 5. We'll keep you updated here on 1310 WDPN. And again, 7:10 tonight, game 2 of the doubleheader between the Reds and the Guardians. I do not have a pitching matchup for tonight yet. I'm sure they'll put that out here right after game 1 is over. Remember yesterday we were asking for a little help from the New York Yankees last night? Boy, did they come through. They drilled the White Sox 9-5 in Chicago last night. So we started the day. The White Sox were 2 up in front of the Guards, 3 in front of the Twins, 6 in front of Detroit. Game 2 of that series tonight on the south side. Reds get somebody. Oh, what happened here? Boy, there's a delay here. Of course, I have to watch this thing on Gamecast on my phone, which, it's 2026. But anyway, long delay here between the first out of the inning. It looks like we're kind of back on track now. So it's still 6-5 Cleveland, 1 out, Reds with a runner at first, and a 2-2 count on the batter. Hunter Gaddis on the mound for Cleveland. So we will continue to let you know what's going on there. All right. We are over an hour and 17 minutes into the show. And my bad, I have not given out the Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. And I told you at the beginning of the show, especially for our Mount Union fans out there, supporters, players, moms, dads, alum, grandparents, people that work in the school, I said, we'll have a little fun with this question today. The poll question of the day is, what is your all-time favorite Mount Union football memory? What is your all-time Mount Union Purple Raiders football memory? 330-821-1310. Get your comments in. on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Come on, Dog Bombler. Come on, Purple Suit. Come on. Let's go. I'm calling Purple Raider Nation. I'm calling you out today, and I want to know what's your all-time favorite Mount Union football memory. It could be a game. It could be a championship game, a regular season game, a moment during a game, maybe something that happened before. Maybe it was at the tailgate. Maybe it was during the lunch at the campus. Whatever it is, maybe it was a road trip. But what's your all-time favorite Mount Union Purple Raider football memory? Get those in, and we'll read those here on the show throughout the rest of the afternoon. We got a couple of comments in. I'm kind of looking for a little bit more, maybe game-related. A lot of you are just kind of being a little vague, and I want to kind of go a little bit deeper here. This was the whole point of it. Maybe it was a certain game, a certain play, the Mount Union Miracle at Baldwin Wallace. Maybe one of their national championship games. Maybe it was the Lou Berry rip-away against John Carroll when he goes for a touchdown after ripping the ball out of the John Carroll quarterback and going into the end zone. Maybe it was a couple of snow games that were played. Maybe it was that crazy playoff game against Oshkosh up in Wisconsin when it was like 87 below. And the Raiders were down like 25 points, and they came back and won the game.
Oh, yeah.
God almighty, I remember that like it was yesterday. I'm still trying to thaw out from that game. But what is your all-time favorite Mount Union football memory? Get them in. Let's have a little fun here this afternoon, as we are not that far away from the start of the college football season. And, of course, AM 1310 WDPN and Q92 Sports, again, will be your official radio home of the University of Mount Union Purple Raider football team this season. I'll be back for my 11th year of calling Purple Raider football. Ryan Bevere will be with me. Ryan Rainsberg will be in the studio, and we're looking forward to it. We got a great schedule. Non-conference, home, away. Great advertising partners jumping on board. It's going to be a lot of fun following along on your phone, on your computer, on your laptop. Also listening to the play-by-play. We're gonna have some fun this year, like we always do, and let's go get that trophy. Right? Been a little bit. Let's go get that trophy, Coach Dart. Let's bring another one back home. What do you say? What's your all-time favorite Mount Union football memory? Sean says watching the games on the old Channel 55 with Joe Tate doing the play-by-play. Cheerleaders doing push-ups for every touchdown. I imagine that their arms were quite sore after games were over.
Oh, my
yes.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, especially when the Raiders were rolling up 50, 60, 70 points
70
a game.
to nothing.
Whew. Bill says, my son's starting for BW at the nose guard when they beat Mount Union at Mount. Bill, what are you doing? When was that? I'm not being a smart aleck. When did BW beat Mount at Mount? What year?
Yeah.
I got to imagine that was quite a while ago. So, Bill, if you're out there, I need a little more info on that post. Put it on there for us, and I'll definitely read it. George says, Sam, every championship they have ever won is my favorite memory. George says the career of Jim Ballard. Ray says the championships that they won. Bill Wright checking in. Sam, just going to the games with my dad and my son and sitting with his uncle. Great memories at Mount Union Stadium. Mark Hill checking in. Mark doing great things out in Kansas City. He says his favorite memory of Mount Union football, Larry Karras. Doug Parton checking in says, well, sorry, I can't say I have a good memory because I've never seen them play in person. So I guess my worst is them coming up just short when they had a chance to play in the D3 title the last couple times that the championships were held in Canton. Yeah, that's been a little rough. But the championship will be back in Canton sooner than later. But we're focused on 2026 right now and how to bring that how to bring that big, shiny Division III trophy back to Alliance. What's your favorite Mount Union Purple Raider football memory? Get them in, call, text, comment on the social media, and we'll read those throughout the show. Coming up on 24 minutes past the hour, phone lines are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. I'm going to get you one more quick update here on the Guardians and the Reds before we go to break. Last we saw, Reds had a runner at first, one out in the bottom of the eighth inning. Cleveland led Cincinnati by the score of 6-5. Hunter Gaddis was on the mound for the Guardians. The Reds did not score. We go to the top of the ninth inning. Cleveland 6, Cincinnati 5. Come on, fellas. Hold on down there in the Queen City. We'll take a break and come back with more of the show right here on 1310 WDPN. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell. As a mom, I want my kids to have full bellies, big dreams, and all the energy in the world to chase them. That is what I want for all kids. But right now, millions of kids in America are living with hunger. That means too many children are going without the meals they need to thrive. And that's just not okay. But the good news is this is a problem that we can all solve. No Kid Hungry works every day in schools, in communities, and during the summertime to make sure kids have healthy meals all year round. That's why I support No Kid Hungry. So let's do this. Let's give all the kids the chance to grow up healthy and strong.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Most pests hide in the shadows, just out of sight. But even as they go unnoticed, they can still put our health at risk. Often drawn to food, moisture, and clutter, pests can spread dangerous bacteria, trigger allergies, and also transmit diseases. In our homes, our workplaces, and even outdoors, pests are a serious health and safety threat. Knowing what to look for can help protect your health. Learn more at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Eric Cargill's family has worked the same land for 5 generations.
If a farmer or rancher gets sick, that's downtime in harvest or planting. Animals don't care if you get sick. You know, I have type 1 diabetes. What if my blood sugar crashes and I'm out in the middle, I'm 30 miles from anywhere?
That changed when nurse practitioner John Hodges opened Rawls Family Medicine.
If our clinic were not here, some of our patients would have to drive up to 90 miles to see a healthcare provider.
Healthcare is not a privilege, it's a right for everyone.
I just want to help as many people in the community as I can.
John Hodges keeps us going, all of us, and that's kept our farm and ranch alive, and hopefully into 6 and 7 generations.
How has a nurse impacted your life? Share your story at thepowerofnurses.org.
For many of our brave service members, the battle never ends. American Humane Society is dedicated to supporting our heroes, both human and canine. Through their Pups for Patriots program, specially trained service dogs are provided to military veterans or retired first responders at no cost. American Humane Society also reunites retired military working dogs with their handlers, heroes who served on the front line. American Humane Society is there, ensuring that no hero is left behind. Donate today at AmericanHumane.org.
Hi, my name is what? My name is Slam Sadie. Hi, my name is my name is what? My name is Slam Sadie. Hi, my name is what? Excuse me. My name is
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. 27 minutes past the hour. Top of the ninth inning. 1 out, 1 on for the Guards. They lead the Reds by the score of 6-5. And we'll keep you up to date there on what happens. This is game 1 of a doubleheader. Game got rained out last night. Game 2 tonight coming up a little bit after 7 o'clock. Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. What's your favorite Mount Union football memory? Was it a national championship game? Was it a win? Was it a game in the snow? Was it a game against John Carroll? Was it the Mount Union Miracle against BW? Lou Berry ripping the ball out of the John Carroll quarterback to run in for a score. A lot of great memories over the decades, long before I started doing games, believe you me. So I know you've got to have some out there that I'm not aware of. The tradition of Mount Union, the national championships, the OAC titles, all the great talent, the Larry Karras era. Then it was Vince. Now it's Coach Jeff Dart. Mount Union football over the years, over the decades, it stands alone. Got to be a lot of memories out there for you. Certain game, certain road trip, national championship, certain weather you had to go through to get to the stadium maybe. Were you with your parents, your grandparents, aunts and uncles, neighbors, friends, colleagues? Give me some good stuff. Mount Union football memories today. And we'll go through those and get them out over the air. I got a couple. I've already told you about a couple. All right. It's time for Sammy's Best Bet. We did not do well last night, so our 4-game streak comes to an end. We had hit our last 4. Come up a little short last night with the Diamondbacks and the Pirates. Needed to go over 8.5. We landed on 5. So tonight, we're going back out west, right? You better believe it. When the Athletics are playing at home, whether it's in Las Vegas or Sacramento, we love playing the over. And that's where we're going tonight. Boston Red Sox in town to take on the Athletics. The total has been climbing 8.5. Now it's up to 9.5. I wouldn't be surprised if this sucker went to 10.5, so we're going to grab it now while we can. Okay? Red Sox A's over the 9.5 tonight. 9:40 the first pitch out in Sacramento. Bennett and Jump, the pitching matchup between the A's and the Red Sox. We're going to go over the 9.5. Red Sox Athletics tonight. Sammy B's best bet of the night. We'll take a break. News and weather coming up next. 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. President Trump meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House today, marking the first face-to-face meeting for the two since the start of the war with Iran in February. Netanyahu announced Monday Iran would be at the forefront of the meeting. A White House official said Monday the two will discuss the conflict, progress with the trilateral framework in Lebanon, and expanding the Abraham Accords. It will be the 8th face-to-face meeting for the two leaders during Trump's second term in office. Netanyahu announced his departure for Washington Monday morning in a social media post and described the trip as both a great honor and great responsibility. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky arrived in the U.S. Monday ahead of a meeting with the president. Zelensky in Washington to attend the memorial late Senator Lindsey Graham, who passed away July 11th. Zelensky said on X, our number one priority is anti-ballistic defense and strategic cooperation with America. Earlier this month, President Trump met with Zelensky on the sidelines of the NATO summit in Turkey, where Trump announced he would grant Kyiv a license to produce Patriot air defense systems. The man overseeing the project said they're aiming to have a minimal viable product by the middle of next year. Wildfires ravaging southern France and spreading into Spain, forcing more than 300,000 people to flee. French President Emmanuel Macron was set to hold a crisis cabinet meeting Monday, while Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez will visit areas hit by fires in the east of Spain. The fire, which began in the southwest of France in Gironde Wednesday, it's burned nearly 104,000 acres and forced one of the nation's largest evacuations. Wildfires have also affected around 190,000 acres in western Madrid. Since the start of the disaster, France's Interior Minister Laurent Nunez said 2,500 firefighters, 1,500 military personnel, and nearly 1,200 police have been deployed. Earthquake with magnitude of 7.1 shook Japan's southern main island of Kyushu. It caused part of a shopping center to collapse Tuesday, leaving dozens of people missing or injured. A tsunami advisory was issued but quickly lifted. Japan's prime minister reports damage to roads, bridges, and buildings. Shinkansen bullet trains and local trains in Kyushu were suspended for safety checks. Authorities said there were no reports of damage to major public facilities or infrastructure. Newly released audio tapes showed Joe Biden sharing classified information with a biographer and sometimes claiming memory lapses during interviews that occurred before his election to the presidency in 2020. About 3 hours of audio, 117 pages of transcripts were released by the Oversight Project, an arm of the Heritage Foundation. The audio and transcript feature frequent redactions. The conversations were released after Biden lost a legal fight to keep his talks with ghostwriter Mark Lewis Zwanitzer private. Biden discusses a range of matters, shares notes from his vice presidency, and appears to confirm to Zwanitzer he retained some classified material. 78 degrees at 4:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Isolated rain, maybe a rumble of thunder through your Tuesday afternoon. A partly sunny sky, blustery and warm, 80 degrees for the high. Overnight, mainly cloudy skies hanging around with lows in the lower 60s. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Feel it coming in the air.
Yeah. 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. Get your comments in on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, Facebook, the Sam Bourquin Show page. Also, give me a follow on TikTok and on Instagram at Sam Bourquin 16. Would really appreciate that.
I haven't heard that song in a while.
I have not either.
Right?
I have not. I bet it's been, well, heck, which album was that on?
Ooh.
For her?
I think isn't that a Jay-Z
Was
song?
that Diamonds or that's that album, or was that another one?
No, I think that's a Jay-Z song.
Oh, that's a Jay-Z song?
Yeah, featuring Rihanna.
Huh. Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, no, it says Jay-Z featuring Rihanna in the system. Unless the system's wrong. But we
know that wouldn't happen.
That never happened.
We know that wouldn't happen. All right, baseball scoreboard. Let's get you back down to Cincinnati, the Great American Ballpark. Guardians and the Reds. We are in the bottom of the 9th inning. Cleveland 6, Cincinnati 5, nobody on, and 2 outs. So we just got to get one more out here, and we can shut the door. Trying to see. I have to assume Cade Smith is on the bump. Holy cow, is Hunter Gaddis still out there? You got to be kidding me. No, Cade Smith is out there. Phew. All right, 2 outs. Nobody on. Guards on top, 6-5. Got to get one more out, and we'll take game 1 of the doubleheader.
That song is on Blueprint 3.
And that was
Run This Town.
2000. No.
What year was that?
I don't even want to hazard a guess.
2009.
That's why I was going to say 10. Okay, 2009.
I knew it was when I was in high school. I thought it was early high school.
2009. What was that? What is this? 26?
That is a 15-year-old song.
What was I doing? 57, 47, 42. 42. Lord knows.
In 2009, I was a freshman. Yes.
2009, I would have been, let's see, 2000. Yeah, I was in the biz. Was probably doing a talk show right about now.
Yeah.
Yeah. My, how time flies. 330-821-1310, our poll question today. Mount Union football, Purple Raider fans, Purple Raider Nation, here in Alliance, all over the world. What's your favorite Mount Union football memory? Give it a little thought. Think about the games, the moments, the championships, the players, the big plays. Think about where you were, certain games, certain things happened. What is your all-time favorite Mount Union Purple Raider memory? Get them in. Sam Bourquin Show page on Facebook, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Sam, every championship was a great memory, whether it was in Salem or somewhere else. Go Raiders. The Lou Berry strip and touchdown against John Carroll. We were there on the 40-yard line on the visiting side. Wow. I still go back and watch that every once in a while. I called that game. I don't know if we even have the audio for that at this point. We might.
What year was that?
I don't know. Because
if it was post,
post
because we have everything on SoundCloud, I believe, after 2016.
Ooh, I would think that would be there.
Yeah, I think any game you've called here is on SoundCloud.
I think. Yeah.
That means I was there too. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You don't remember that?
No.
Oh man. I would have to go look it up. Now I know I can find the YouTube call from the TV.
Oh yeah.
That Jeff, my good buddy Jeff Shreve and Harry Patis did that day. I have not heard the radio. I haven't heard my radio call for that. I don't think since it happened.
Probably not. No.
I'm going to have to try to find it.
You can figure out
what's the first step that I need to take?
If you can figure out what year it happened, it'd be pretty easy for me to find it because you know which teams it was.
Yeah.
We know it was Mount and who?
John Carroll.
Yeah. We just need to find the year.
And it would have been November because this was when they played BW and John Carroll weeks 9 and 10.
Right.
So it would have been in November.
The year is all I would need.
Yeah.
Because they probably only played John Carroll. They play him twice a year?
No.
Yeah, so
once.
no. So yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be easy to find if we had the year.
Anybody out there remember what year that was?
Yeah.
I would love to sit here and look.
Audio.
I would love to sit here and look and go through the archives, but I'm a little busy doing the show. So if anybody can get that in, I would appreciate it. And I'm going to go back and try to find that call because that just absolutely came out of nowhere.
Oh, Scooter checking in on YouTube says guards win.
Okay. Very good. 1 in the books. Game 2 tonight coming up at 7:10. Cade Smith on the mound finishing things up for the Guardians in the bottom of the 9th inning. What year would that have been?
Who was the quarterback? What was his name?
I believe it was the young man from St. Thomas who had a hell of a career at Mount Union. Number 10, Anthony. Somebody help me out here.
I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue.
I'm just blacking out.
Because like that seems to be one of the few things that I retain from even really old Mount Union games before I really paid attention is quarterback names, at least because you hear that a lot. So that gets stuck in my brain.
Meglin. It was Anthony Meglin.
Meglin.
Okay. Moeglin. Yes.
That rings a bell.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you could find the TV version of it on YouTube, that'll tell us what year it is.
That's true. That'll
even tell us at what point the game it's in, so it'd be easier to find.
Touchdown. Okay. I think we're making some headway here. Hold on, I gotta put my glasses on.
We're moving right along.
Jesus.
By the time we get to the 5 o'clock hour, we'll have some audio to play.
Lou Berry, strip sack, John Carroll.
I need to get, what's that? The Price is Right.
Now this is showing, of course there's an ad. This was posted 7 years ago.
Okay.
Would that mean that it actually happened 7 years? You know, sometimes people post stuff years and years and years after the fact.
Should be. That would have been 2019.
He's at the 30, 20. See you later,
That's not me.
Touchdown, Mount Union. Lewis.
Okay, that was the call from, I think that was the Mount Union campus station.
Okay.
And this is showing, 7 years ago. Lou Berry strips the ball from John Carroll quarterback Anthony Meglin for a touchdown to seal the win for the Purple Raiders. September 24th, 2018.
18, okay.
So 8 years ago.
Should still be on SoundCloud.
Should be. But I don't believe this game was played in September. I don't think it was in September. It couldn't have been.
Well, I mean, there was definitely They used to open with John Carroll at least once every couple of years,
They
right?
did when they would reverse the schedule around, because they would either close with BW and John Carroll, or they would open. They were never like in the middle. You would play your non-conference game. Now we play 2 because John Carroll's not in the league anymore. We play 2. Yep. Then we go into the conference. So like this year, our first game in the conference is against, I think it's BW, but it changes. They go through a different scheduling cycle every, I don't know what the cycle is. Maybe every 4 or 5 years, they'll redo it. Now I'm going to look up this year's schedule, and then I can figure all this out. I know we open up at Wheaton. That's game 1. Then the Purple Raiders come home the following Saturday to take on Grove City. The following Saturday, no. Okay. So we don't play BW until it might be the end of the year. No, we play them November the 7th. And then we finish up at Otterbein. So Baldwin Wallace will be the last home game for the Purple Raiders this year in Alliance, and that'll be on November 7th. Okay, so a little different than what I thought. I got the Purple Raider football ticker out as we speak. Mount Union football back to the airwaves on 1310 WDPN in 38 days, 20 hours, 15 minutes, and 29 seconds.
Awesome.
All right. We open up Saturday, September the 5th at Wheaton against the Thunder. Number 3 team in the country, Wheaton, the number 5 preseason team in the country, Mount Union. You think that's an important game? You think that game will go a long way with playoff and points and seeding and brackets right off the rip, man? It's going to be a monster game between the Purple Raiders and the Wheaton Thunder.
Michael on YouTube asks if we are calling the Wheaton. He asked, are you calling the Wheaton? Which
we are. I will not be, because I have a high school game that same Saturday afternoon.
Right. That first
but
one.
We are doing it. I'm not sure who's doing it, but I know we have two of our guys are going to be making the trip out. I know that for sure. If I could have done it, I would have, but I've got a high school game Friday night, and then I've got a game Saturday afternoon. So I will not be in Wheaton, but we will have the game here on 1310 WDPN, of course. And you know where else to get it? Q92 Radio YouTube channel, Q92 Sports. We'll be everywhere. Wow. Be here before you know it. But what a way to start the year. No, there will be no easing in to the schedule this year. It's like, bam, here we are. You don't get many of those. That's a top 5 matchup in the country. Week 1. Number 3 against number 5. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool right there. What is going on out there?
Nothing.
Just nothing but noise and racket. You don't normally get those. But that game's going to go a long way in what goes on here in 2026. Holy cow. All right, Guardians beat the Reds today 6-5. What do you say? We get a little highlight ready? Guardians beat the Reds today 6-5. Kate Smith finishes the deal in the 9th inning, but you got to go all the way back to the top of the 1st inning. Chase Burns is on the mound for Cincinnati. Guardians with the bases loaded. And wouldn't you know, here comes Kyle Manzardo.
The next one, swung on and hammered to deep right, away, back and gone. A grand slam to right by Kyle Manzardo. And the best replay challenge that was ever overturned in the history of the Cleveland Guardians, instead of it being 1-0 Cleveland, 4-0 Cleveland on Kyle Manzardo's first Grand Slam of the year. The next
first Grand Slam of the year.
Hammered to deep right.
Whoa, here we go.
God, I'm sorry, it would not pause. It refused to pause on me.
First Grand Slam of the year for Manzardo. They ride that to the 6-5 win. Game 2 tonight, 7-10. The Guardians and the Reds down in Cincinnati. I'm looking for tonight's pitching matchup. I don't see it yet. I don't know if they posted it yet. They have not posted the batting lineup for tonight yet either, but I assume that's going to be coming up here sooner rather than later. So the line score today as follows. Cleveland, 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Cincinnati had 5 runs today on 11 hits, 1 error. Colin Holderman gets the win in relief. He goes to 6-2. Sam Moll takes the loss in relief. He's having a rough year, 1-7. Cade Smith gets the save, number 30 for Cade. Guardians win 6-5. Manzardo the Grand Slam. Chase DeLauder got an RBI. That eventually was the game winner. 6-5, your final score. 2 hours and 54 minutes, 16,866 today at not Comerica Park, Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. And I'm looking for tonight. You got pitching matchups yet? I don't see it yet. Don't see it yet. Guards are minus 140 on the money line. The total is 8.5. We'll look for the pitching matchups. We'll also look for the starting lineups tonight as soon as they come across. All right, 50 minutes past the hour. 330-821-1310. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more of the Sam Bourquin Show. AM 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brooke Figgenshoe, your 2025 Carnation Queen. Alliance will be celebrating its 13th annual Movie on the Silver Screen on Monday, August 3rd. The movie begins at 8 p.m. Admission is free. The movie Zootopia 2 will be shown on the silver screen. Grab your friends and head down to the Commons. Bring your blankets and chairs and enjoy the movie.
High school football returns to WDPN Friday night, August 21st. This is Christian Bigglesworth. My partner Derek Dimmitt and I will be calling the action all season long. And the games will also be streaming live on AM 1310's Facebook and X pages, as well as the Q92 YouTube channel. Get ready for another amazing season of high school football, starting August 21st, right here on AM 1310 WDPN.
My name is Erica. My son, Kason, is a patient at Shriners Children. My oldest called me and said Kason got burned. The trauma doctor came in and said he needs to go to Shriners.
His injury was a big injury, and I think a testament to the care that we provide. He's fully functional. He's riding his dirt bike, doing all of the things that you would want him to do.
We're just so thankful that Kason is still here. Go online right now to loveshriners.org.
This ain't a song for the broken hearted.
Welcome back to the show, 1310 WDPN. Going to be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, we'll be with you at 3. Don't forget about Thursday. Big show coming. It's our 2026 high school football release schedule. We're going to let you know all the games we're doing, weeks 1 through 10, which games are going to be on the AM, which games will be on our sister station, Q92, 92.5 FM, which games we will be streaming. We're going to have Christian's going to join us. Keller's going to join us. Brian Beatty is going to join us on Thursday. We're going to run down the whole schedule, AM and FM, like a little preview of the season, and let you know how you can find the games, how you can listen to the games, what else you can enjoy while you're listening to the games. We got some really cool stuff happening. Excited to tell you all about it. It's the 2026 high school football schedule release show this Thursday at 3. Right here on 1310 WDPN, Q92 Radio Sports YouTube channel, on Facebook, on X. Join us this Thursday at 3 p.m. Excuse me. We're excited. Got our schedule all set, ready to go. Week 1 through week 10. Then, of course, we'll be with you all the way through the 2026 playoffs. Okay? So big show coming Thursday. We're excited to tell you where we're going to be, which games we'll be doing, and we're going to let you know Thursday, okay? 3 o'clock right here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Okay, I mentioned earlier today, the Ohio State teaming up with J.P. Morgan Chase to the tune of $17 million. Jersey patches for all 36 Buckeye teams. $17 million a year for the athletic program. That announcement was made today. And then about an hour later, Notre Dame says, hey, how about this? We got a deal with SoFi. We're going to get $20 million a year for our athletic program. And then I just like, okay, who's going to be next? Who's it going to be? What's the check going to be? What's the company going to be? What kind of, I always laugh, and I apologize. I always laugh when I hear the spin put on by the school or said corporate partner. I always laugh at the spin that they put on. Otherwise, just saying, you know what? They want to write us a big check and they want to be involved in the university. But they got to go through all this, all the minutia. Together we have built a comprehensive and historic partnership. This creates meaningful. Come on, just take the check and go. I always laugh at the spin because they always try to correlate. And, when these teams come out with these new football jerseys in uniforms and they try to put a spin on, okay, why there's the blue, why there's the gray, why there's the curve at the end. It's built into the fat. Come on. It's all a bunch of nonsense. So I started thinking, okay, who all has a patch? Which schools have patches on their uniforms? Which schools have got contracts with the big businesses? Ohio State, Michigan leading the way. Or Ohio State, Notre Dame leading the way. So I found a little graphic. And this is what I've come up with. Notre Dame, SoFi. Air Force Academy, USAA. Arkansas, Tyson Foods. Army, USAA. Makes sense, right? Army, Navy, Air Force. Brigham Young, Entrada. No idea what that is. Illinois, Busey Bank. Kansas, XRP. Let's see here. Louisiana Monroe, Samaritan's Purse. LSU, Woodside Energy. Marshall, the Marshall Health Network. Memphis, FedEx. No surprise, that's where FedEx is run out of. Michigan State, the Michigan State Federal Credit Union. These are all the corporate jersey patches you will be seeing on these teams this year. North Dakota State's got to deal with Gate City Bank. New Mexico State, Inn of the Mountain Gods Resort and Casino.
Awesome.
No, absolute no shame in New Mexico. Ohio State, JP Morgan Chase. Oklahoma State, Osage. Don't know what that is. University of California, Dial Pad. UNLV, Accesso Biologics. South Florida, Tampa General Hospital. University of Texas San Antonio, La Panderia Bakery and Cafe. Vanderbilt, SRM Concrete. Again, these are all the schools that have big contracts with the business world putting patches on their uniforms. Washington State, 1872 Covelli Tribes. Wisconsin, Culvers.
Nice.
And the last one that I've been able to see here, the University of Wyoming, Tallgrass. Big 12 has a league-wide commitment from Monster Energy Drinks. That's up to date. That's the up-to-date list right there. And you know, many, many, many more are coming.
Nothing more popular than Monster Energy Drink.
Just what the young student athletes should be.
That's what the
guzzling
youngsters,
down their gullet is Monster Energy drinks.
So they be drinking nowadays.
Worst thing you can drink.
Monster was cool when I was in high school.
Cool as how? Like how fast it can screw your innards? I mean, what? I never understood that. Why was it cool?
Monster was cool because it
of the
was
logo?
Yeah, probably a little bit. It was edgy. It was. I mean, why is anything else cool with teenagers but marketing?
Sure.
Axe was cool with my age group because it was all about making you more appealing to women.
Right.
It was like you spray this on and all the girls are going to want you.
Yeah. Get on the elevator.
What 14-year-old boy isn't going to see that and go, okay, that sounds good.
Mom,
I need
you take
Axe.
me to the store so I can get Axe because I'm only 14 and I can't drive.
I have to put half the can on my body, though. That's what the commercial does. You got to spray the whole X and then around and then up and back. And
And then a half hour later, do it again.
Yeah, get a good coating. That way, if you sweat it off, it just kind of runs down.
I did like their commercials.
Yeah, they were great.
When they were on the elevator
Mm-hmm.
and the guy would spray himself with Axe before the girls would get on the 5th and 6th floor, and they'd get in the elevator and you can take guess what
Can't keep
happened.
their hands off him now. He
Yeah.
smells like Axe body spray.
Yeah.
Oh, we ran over the break.
That's all right. We'll still tell everybody it's 5, even though it's 5:01. You're listening to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN. The news is now.
An important part of the Alliance community since 1953. You're listening to AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. At the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., funeral services have concluded for the late Senator Lindsey Graham. The longtime GOP lawmaker from South Carolina died at the age of 71 this month. President Trump delivering the eulogy. He called Graham a member of the family and a critical part of the Republican Party over the years.
He was the first person to make you laugh and one of the last people that you've really ever wanted to fight. These were the traits that made him into one of the great figures in Senate history. Few like him.
In Georgia, a judge sentenced teen Colt Gray to life in prison without the possibility of parole in the deadly Appalachia High School shooting that killed 4 people in 2024. Gray had pleaded not guilty to charges of killing 2 students and 2 teachers at the school outside Atlanta, but Gray changed his plea. Tornado damage being assessed in Wisconsin after yesterday's volatile storms. That same system targeting the Northeast today. This is ABC News.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. Alliance City Council will need a new leader after Art Garnes resigned as president effective immediately. Garnes cited ongoing health issues as the reason for stepping down. He'd served on council since 2015 and was reelected 5 times, most recently last November. The Stark County Republican Central Committee has between 5 and 20 days to select someone to finish Garnes' term, which runs through the end of 2027. Councilman Ed Lonis will serve as president pro tem until the appointment of Garnes' successor. A felony child endangering charge has been filed against an Alliance police sergeant. Ethan Griffith was placed on paid administrative leave after Austintown police arrested him June 7th. He was accused of crashing a pickup truck and leaving the scene. Griffith was off duty and on vacation at the time of the incident. He faces multiple charges. Griffith was arrested Tuesday on a felony count of endangering children. He reportedly hit the 4-year-old son of his fiancée at White House Fruit Farm in Canfield Sunday. Police said the blows left marks on the boy's face. Griffith is charged in Mahoning County Court in Sebring. Dozens of Canton residents were turned away from City Hall Monday as council approved new rules for future data centers. 8-3 vote came after a packed 90-minute public hearing where residents spoke against the projects and said the regulations were too little too late. The new zoning rules require 200-foot setbacks from homes and other sensitive properties, sound studies, limits on generator testing, and buried utility lines with landscaped buffers. Man has been released on bond after being charged in the death of his bedridden mother. 64-year-old Paul Yeager of Jackson Township posted $10,000 bond following his arraignment Monday in Massillon Municipal Court. Investigators say 91-year-old Paula Blankenship died of hypothermia and environmental exposure at their home on Longview Street Northwest January 28th. Yeager's charged with reckless homicide and failing to provide for a functionally impaired person. A preliminary hearing set for Wednesday. Canton police have asked the public for help in finding an 80-year-old man. Sam Gilmore of Canton was last seen Saturday afternoon when he said he was going to walk to Woodlawn Market on Woodlawn Avenue in Jackson Township. Gilmore most recently lived in the 2500 block of Roberts Avenue Northwest. He is black, 5'7", 155 pounds with gray hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a black suit coat, white Oxford shirt with blue stripes, black pants, brown boots, and a camouflage hat. Anyone with information can contact Canton Police at 330-649-5800 or the Detective Bureau at 489-3144. Anonymous tips can also be sent to Tip 411 or Stark County Crime Stoppers. Lexington Township trustees say more money is needed to keep up with road repairs. Voters will decide on a new levy this fall. Trustees today placed an additional 5-year, $1.5 million road levy on the November 3rd ballot. It would generate about $251,000 a year. Road Superintendent Mike Byler says current funding limits how much resurfacing can be completed. Trustees also accepted a $61,000 Ohio Public Works Commission grant for a guardrail project on Price Street and approved a vacant lot application for 3 parcels along Webb Avenue Northeast. Richard George plans to buy the roughly 48 acres and build multiple homes. The land currently owned by New Jersey-based Central Waste Incorporated. Man wanted on an Alliance police warrant accused of leading Youngstown police on a chase through Mill Creek Park Saturday afternoon. Police say 45-year-old Ismael Camacho fled a traffic stop on Mahoning Avenue, crashed his car near West Cohasset Drive, and fled on foot before being caught. Police say they recovered a handgun modified for fully automatic fire and 11 Suboxone strips from the vehicle. Camacho was arraigned Monday on a failure to comply charge, drug and weapons offenses, and is due in court August 3rd for a preliminary hearing. Man was rescued in Boardman Monday morning after driving his car down an embankment. WKBN TV reports emergency crews responded to Mill Creek Park just before 10. The car was about 60 feet down an embankment off Chestnut Drive. The man was able to extricate himself from the car, was helped up to the road by firefighters using a walking path. The driver has suffered minor injuries. 21-year-old Youngstown man due back in court next week after police say a woman was shot during a domestic dispute. Sean Grant was arraigned Monday on a felonious assault charge. His bond was set at $75,000. Preliminary hearing set for Monday. Police say Grant was arrested shortly after the shooting on the city's east side Saturday morning. His attorney said the shooting was unintentional. Prosecutors allege a Canfield man was using his cell phone just before a crash that killed an Ohio Highway Patrol trooper last October. 36-year-old Ryan Ratch pleaded not guilty Monday to aggravated vehicular homicide and aggravated vehicular assault in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court. Ratch was released from jail after posting $100,000 bond. The crash on Route 11 in Canfield killed trooper Nicholas Caton and injured the driver of a disabled semi. 78 degrees at 5:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
This weather is brought to you by Grove Appliance Furniture and Mattress. Local, trusted, and family-owned for 90 years. With a huge selection of appliances, furniture, and mattresses to go with unmatched customer service. 80 degrees for your Tuesday afternoon high. We'll see wind gusting near 30 miles per hour, so hold on to your garbage can lids. Isolated rain, maybe a rumble of thunder, otherwise sunny skies. Overnight lows tonight down to 63 with a mainly cloudy sky. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
Rediscover the comfort of home with Grove Appliance Furniture and Mattress, your hometown spot for comfort, quality, and style. From sleek new appliances that make life easier to furniture that actually fits the way you live, Grove helps you create a space that feels like home. And with hundreds of fabric options, you can make it completely your own. Don't forget about their design center. If you're looking for a complete overhaul, they can help you with all of it, from cabinets and countertops to backsplashes and sleek appliances. Their local team takes time to find out exactly what you need. No pressure, no guessing, just honest advice and real service. And if you're upgrading on a budget, check out Grove's Scratch and Dent Room, where small imperfections mean big savings on top brands. Because when your home feels right, everything else just works. Grove Appliance Furniture and Mattress. Hometown comfort. Made simple.
Come see us at Grove, where it always feels like home.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
That's going to do it. Fair ball, Brandon Lau. Hook is in, and the Pirates find themselves even with Arizona. A thriller in Pittsburgh tonight. And Lindor cranks one to deep left field. Forget that. Lindor puts the icing on the cake on a long 3-run homer. His second home run of the night. A 6 RBI game for Lindor.
The chase for the squirrel is on, and the squirrel is in the corner, and the squirrel is still eluding an entire horde of grounds crew members. And the squirrel's free once again. Hemmed in? No, I won't be hemmed in. I have freedom on my mind.
Base hit! Hits that losing streak goodbye! And good night! Griffin Conine walks it off! And the Marlins score 3 in the ninth to win it! Got him! A 100-mile-an-hour fastball to blow him away. And Louis Marlin picks up his 22nd save of the season.
And with that, we welcome you back into the Sam Bourquin Show right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Welcome in. Going to be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Good news from Cincinnati. We got some cool highlights we're going to play here for you. How Rainsburg get those ready to go. 1, 2, 3. Guardians over the Reds this afternoon by the score of 6-5. Again, highlights coming. Game 2 tonight at 7:10 down at the Great American Ballpark. Guardians went out to a big lead early today. Got 4 in the first. And then Cincinnati kind of frittered away at it. Then it was a 5-5 game late. Then the Guards pushed one across in the top of the 8th, and the Guardians' bullpen was pretty good today. And they hold on to win the game by the score of 6-5. Now, good news is the Guardians won. The bad news is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had to use 6 pitchers in game 1 of a day-night doubleheader. I still don't see the pitching matchups for game 2. Those have to be coming out here soon. I wonder at this point, is this going to be like a bullpen game for one of these teams or both? I did see they called up Daniel Espino from AAA. Maybe he'll be thrust into action tonight. I don't know. But I have not seen a pitching matchup yet. But the Guardians win the first game today by the score of 6-5. We got some good highlights here to play for you. We're just going to run them one after the other. First one, of course, is the Kyle Manzardo Grand Slam. And then we play a little guards ball with Chase DeLauder. And then Angel Martinez makes a diving catch to end it in the bottom of the 9th.
The next one, swung on and hammered to deep right, away, back and gone. A grand slam to right by Kyle Manzardo. And the best replay challenge that was ever overturned in the history of the Cleveland Guardians. Instead of it being 1-0 Cleveland, 4-0 Cleveland on Kyle Manzardo's first grand slam of the year. He gets the bunt down, and the only play is at first for Maul. He looked at home, but decided to twirl and throw to first, and the Guardians take the lead on the safety squeeze as DeLauder comes home. The next pitch, swung on, line to right field. Coming on, diving Martinez. He made the catch. Ball game. A great diving catch in right field by Angel Martinez. And Cleveland takes game 1 today on the banks of the Ohio River, 6-5.
All right. Hammy with a couple calls there from the Guardians radio network. Matty Underwood with a call on CLA Guards TV, and it's a winner, 6-5, Cleveland over Cincinnati. Game 2 coming up tonight.
That last one was one hell of a catch.
It was. I didn't realize they
look like
just posted the play, and because like I knew Kate Smith was in there, and I'm watching it on the Gamecast, it just says fly out. I'm like, okay, popped up, nice and easy. And I looked at the video, I thought, holy cow, Angel Martinez, good for you.
He caught it with the glove facing down to the ground. It didn't even look like he caught it at first. So he turned it around and lifted it up.
So that was that could have extended the game, could have made things a little more interesting than we wanted, and the Guardians hold on for the win. So let's update the standings now. That will make the Guardians 54. I'm sorry, it'll make them 55 and 53. And the White Sox are still 55 and 50. They have game 2 against the Yankees tonight, a little bit after 7 o'clock in Chicago. Twins are now 3.5 back. They're a game and a half behind Cleveland. Detroit is now 6.5. What are the Tigers going to do? I changed my mind with this team Every day. And we're not going to spend a lot of time on Detroit. But I change my mind every day. Like, Skubal goes out and has a great game. He strikes out 15 guys. The Tigers win a game. A couple teams in front of him lose. I think, okay, they're going to keep him. Then they go on a little bit of a losing streak. A couple teams in front of them, they're on winning streaks. I go, Detroit's going to sell. They're going to move Skubal. They're going to pack it in. Like, I literally change my mind every single day with every single game. Now, today, Detroit's 6 out. They're 50-57. Their only path is to win the division. There's no way in the world they're getting a wild card. Teams in front of them with wins, Tampa, New York, Boston, Baltimore, Chicago, Cleveland, Minnesota, Texas, Houston, Seattle. So their only realistic path is to win the division. There's no way they're jumping 12 teams. So they have to figure out, okay, are we going to go for it? Are we going to keep Tarek Skubal? And are we just going to hope that we get hot? And are they going to hope that Chicago, Cleveland, and Minnesota all hit a little bit of a skid? It could happen. Look what happened to the Guardians the last couple of years. Did we or did we not come back from 15 games out of first place? Yes, we did. So could Detroit go on could they win 12 out of 15? Sure they could. Could the White Sox, Guardians, and Twins all go 6-13? Of course they could. And then Detroit be right back in there. And they'd say, oh, good. Thank God we kept Skubal. Now we got a chance. Now we got to buckle down. We got to keep winning these division games. And now we got a shot. Detroit's in a tough spot. Because if they would unload Skubal, they could get a king's ransom for him right now. They could get starting players. They could get unbelievable highest-rated prospects in somebody else's organization. They could make a killing, but then you would lose your ace. You would lose one of the best pitchers in the game of baseball today. But you could quickly restock and move forward and not take your lumps by just letting Tarek Skubal go. You know, the old free agency route, you get nothing back in return. And I'm looking at Detroit's lineup. McGonigal, Torres, Green, Dingler, Keith, Torkelson, McKinstry, Valencia. They got some talent. Baez. But is it enough with Skubal in the rest of their rotation? I don't know.
I mean,
do they have enough to win the Central Division title with what they have now? Even if they keep Skubal, I don't know. And they're going to be looking. Look, I know this is 2026, but if you're an ownership group, or you're a general manager, you're the assistant general manager, you're a scout, you're looking at 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. You're looking way down the road. You got to look, this is the here and the now. We'll seize the day, but you got to have your eye on the future too. And if Skubal walks and you don't get anything for him, Detroit's in big trouble. If you don't think you can make a run at the division, you really think you're tapped out. You can't do it. You trade him, you're going to get buckets of talent in return. And that'll set you up for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Especially if you get some of the young kids, that are working their way up through AA, AAA, and they're ready to just flourish when they get to the big league level. Or do you say, you know what? Let's go buy. Let's not only keep Skubal, let's keep everybody else that we have, and let's go make some trades and give some prospects or maybe one of our other players, and let's go get some more to build around what we have and keep Skubal in the rotation because we think we have a chance to win the division. I can't make that decision for Detroit. I wouldn't want to be in that room. That's too tough to call right now. This is a team that's 7 games under 500. Look at the Guardians, for instance, 55 and 53. They certainly think they can win the division. They're only 2 out. But again, they've got 4 more wins than the Tigers. They would have to leapfrog a pretty decent number of teams to sneak out a wild card. So the Guardians' mission should be what? Win the division. And they should be active before the trade deadline. But I don't know what Detroit's going to do. Say Detroit, okay, between now and the trade deadline, which is what, August 3rd? Yeah, August 4th?
3rd, I believe.
If they lose their next 5, I got to imagine that the phone lines are burning up and they're going to move off Skubal. If they win their next 5, or they go 4-1, or they go 5-1, and say Minnesota, Cleveland, Chicago play at 500 or a game below, now they're saying, hey, whoa, let's be active here. Let's be active. Let's add to what we got. We think we can win the division. And if we get in, we got Skubal. And in a 7-game series, he can pitch twice, at least, if you need him. But I wouldn't want to make that decision. Oh, that's tough, man. That's why they're getting the big bucks.
Yeah, you gotta at least be calling around and seeing what he's worth. You know, you gotta know that before you start making a decision like that. Call up the other teams and be like, "Hey, how much would you pay for Skubal?
How much would you give? How many guys would you give us in return?
What would you do for Skubal right now?
I mean, how much talent do you want to give up? You want to give us? You want to give us some ready-made players on your team? You want to give us some prospects from AAA?
You want to give us
some
a truckload of money?
AA? I mean, you're not going to get money.
No, okay.
No, you're not going to get money. You're just going to get players. That's what this comes down to.
Okay.
So you got to find out who's going to give you the biggest haul, and then you hold them. You hold them hostage so tight that that's just how the game's played. That's the cat and mouse of the whole thing. But who would be willing to give you whatever you wanted? The Dodgers.
Yep. Let's just go straight trade Ohtani for Skubal.
And then, oh God, no. Oh my God.
Shake things up a little bit.
Oh my God. The Dodgers
they'd get Detroit's entire franchise for Ohtani.
They would get killed.
Yeah.
The Dodger fans would kill everybody in the Dodgers organization if they moved off of Shohei Ohtani. Trust me when I tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Shohei Ohtani ain't going anywhere, ever. For the rest of his life, he is a Los Angeles Dodger. We're going to take a break. 26 minutes past the hour. 330-821-1310. Guards beat the Reds 6-5 in Game 1. Game 2 coming up in less than 2 hours down in Cincinnati. We'll step out and come back with more. 1310 WDPN.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, is hiring traffic control flaggers, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
and Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go? I did it. I got the job. I can't believe it. I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA home loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earn. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
All right, it is time for On This Day in Sports History. We do it every Monday through Friday at 5:29 here on AM 1310 WDPN. Quick one today, ladies and gentlemen. On this day in 1991, Dennis Martinez of the Montreal Expos pitched the 13th perfect game in Major League Baseball history. That was pretty cool. They did it against the Dodgers in L.A., and I remember the last words by the announcer, El Presidente, El Perfecto. On this day in 1999, Kenny Rogers of the Texas Rangers pitched the 14th game in Major League Baseball history that was a perfect game. On this day in 2002, Lance Armstrong won his fourth straight Tour de France. And on this day in sports history, remember the day when Trevor Bauer got roughed up on the mound a little bit, got all mad, and then Tito Francona comes out of the dugout. He's walking to the mound to take Trevor out of the game. And Trevor Bauer turned around and fired the ball over the center field fence. We all remember this from
Bauer was taken out of the game. Turned, and I don't know where he threw that ball.
Well, I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. I know one thing. His skipper is not happy with that. He might be frustrated because this was an ugly inning, but you can't do that between the lines.
Frustrating afternoon for Trevor Bauer, and his manager was fine until it upset him there at the mound. What he did before he came out, watch this, he turns and fires it. Thankfully, he threw it against the board, so there was nobody in the seats there to get hit with it. But you don't do that when your manager's coming out. It's disrespectful. So Francona's going, what the heck was that? And Bauer goes, my bad, Skip, I'm sorry. And he goes, go grab some pine. I'm going to see you in a little bit. And so he's in the principal's office right now, and then let them deal with it. But the Royals, they frustrated him.
Oh, that was not a smart move right there. And it happened on this day in sports history. We'll take a break. News and weather coming up.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, President Trump meeting at the White House today. The sit-down, the first since they launched a joint war against Iran, and offered a chance for Netanyahu to smooth out strains in their relationship. The closed-door meeting lasted nearly an hour and a half. The White House said it was positive and productive. President meeting with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky to discuss Ukraine producing its own weapons amid its ongoing war with Russia. Zelensky calls it a good meeting. Tuesday's White House sit-down followed a NATO summit in Turkey where Trump announced the U.S. will allow Ukraine to make Patriot defense systems. Zelensky thanked the president for the support and emphasized the importance of diplomacy. Senator Lindsey Graham was eulogized in Washington today. His flag-draped casket arriving Tuesday at the U.S. Capitol, where the Republicans served for more than 30 years. Vice President J.D. Vance called Graham a swashbuckling character and true American original. Funeral will be held later at Washington National Cathedral. President Trump expected to deliver remarks at the cathedral ceremony. Senate set to confirm Jay Clayton to become head of the nation's intelligence agencies. ensuring a permanent director in place as midterm elections approach. Clayton expected to be confirmed along party lines today after a hearing 2 weeks ago in which he repeatedly refused to say that former President Joe Biden won the 2020 election. Democrats have said they have more confidence in Clayton than in the president's temporary pick for the job, Bill Pulte. Newly uncovered memo from the final days of the Biden administration revealed plans to expand temporary protected status to more than 3 million non-citizens. TPS meant for foreign populations experiencing crises like political unrest or natural disasters. And while President Trump has tried to end the temporary provisions for Haitians, Nepalese, Salvadorans, and Sudanese, lawsuits from pro-migrant advocates have halted most attempts. Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt said his investigation discovered the Biden White House tried to keep millions of illegal aliens in the country by abusing the temporary protected status program. According to News Nation, a massive immigration and customs enforcement operation began in New York City Monday night. The outlet added the move comes more than a month after White House border czar Tom Homan said a surge of officers was coming. The operations began in Queens and are expected to move into other areas today. The Hill reported the surge will primarily target those with prior immigration detainers that were not upheld. A shot was fired at the U.S. consulate in Toronto Monday. The facade of the consulate was damaged, but no people were hurt. CBC reported police were seeking a white Honda Accord. Police chased the car for a time before calling it off due to safety concerns over its speed. March 10th, 2 suspects allegedly fired multiple shots at the building before driving away in a stolen vehicle. An 18 and 19-year-old were arrested in connection with the March shooting, but have yet to be brought to trial. Canada has very stringent gun controls in place, including a firearms license requirement, a red flag law, and a ban on the type of firearms American Democrats describe as assault weapons. 78 degrees at 5:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Isolated rain, maybe a rumble of thunder into the afternoon hours today. Partly sunny skies. It's going to be blustery with gusts to near 30 miles per hour and a high today near 80 degrees, cooler and less humid. Overnight, mainly cloudy skies on the way with a low of 63. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
$13.10 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. 330-821-1310. Get your comments in the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We got the chat open for you today. Guards beat the Reds 6-5. Game 2 of the doubleheader coming up tonight at 7:10. And then, let's see. What are we doing after? Oh, forgot to mention, Draymond Green has agreed to come back to the Warriors today. If you missed it, 1 year. For $27.7 million. So Draymond Green back with Golden State for the upcoming season. Let me see here. So the rain out last night pushed us into a day-night doubleheader today. Tomorrow, okay, thank goodness. Night game tomorrow at 7:10. Now, they do have the pitching matchups for tomorrow. Cantillo and Singer. That's the pitching matchup tomorrow. Thursday, the Guardians are off. Friday, they come back home to play I'm going to say a dangerous Arizona Diamondbacks team. They're dangerous. They're 55-52. They're not going to win their division because, well, you know, they're in the Dodgers division, and they're 12.5 out. They could make a push at a wild card. They put the ball in play, man. They make you make plays. So the D-backs will be here Friday night at 7:10, Saturday night at 7:15. That's got Fox written all over it. Has to be. Let me see. Yep, that's on Fox Saturday night. And then Sunday will be 1:40. So a couple more with the Reds, and then 3 with the Diamondbacks over the weekend as the Guardians finally come back to Progressive Field. Our poll question of the day, Mount Union faithful, Mount Union alum, Mount Union fans, what is your all-time favorite Mount Union football memory? A lot of great responses today. They're coming in. Most of you are you loved the national championships that have been won by the Purple Raiders. A lot of you loved the Larry Karras era. I got a couple in here about the strip by Lou Berry off of Anthony Meglin for John Carroll and running it back for a touchdown to seal the deal about 8 years ago over at Mount Union Stadium. I can't believe nobody has texted in or commented in the Mount Union Miracle in Berea against Baldwin Wallace. Last regular season game of the year. If you heard the game here on AM 1310 WDPN, you know that I literally, and figuratively almost fell out of the Baldwin Wallace press box. Almost fell out. I couldn't believe how that game ended. Mount Union was dead. They were dead and buried. BW scored late. It was snowing. It was windy. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. There was hardly any time left. And Mount needed to score a touchdown. By God, I think they ran 3 plays in like no time, and they had one final shot at it. And I believe the ball was around the Mount 40 or Mount 45, had to get it into the end zone. Last play of the game. I can see it as plain as day. Now, that's a game that I am going to go back and I should be able to find that audio.
What year was that?
I want to say it's within the last 4 years.
Okay. That might even be on YouTube.
That might be on YouTube. You talk about, I remember doing the play-by-play. I forget who I was working with that day. Geez, I've had a different color analyst every year for 11 years. So what the hell?
Yeah, hell, that could have easily have been like Keller even.
It could have been Keller, could have been Bevere. It could have been, I have no idea.
I think Jay 1 year probably.
Could have been, I don't know. But anyhow.
If they work here, they've probably done Mount Union football with you, Sam.
I'm sitting here going, we're cooked. We're not going to host a playoff. We're going to be on the road. I was like, oh. But as I'm doing the game, I'm like, hey. Keep the faith. Keep people up. Keep them on the edge. Keep them excited. Keep them. Give them hope. We got one play left. We got one play. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. And man alive, time was running down. Our QB fires it up into the air through the wind, the snow, the cold. And the ball gets tipped at about the 2 or 3 yard line by Baldwin Wallace. Should have intercepted it. Ball bounced off his hands. Our guy picks it up and runs into the end zone. Time left. Purple Raiders win. It will be dubbed the Mount Union Miracle. That was one of the most obscene plays I've ever seen. One of the most bizarre games I've ever broadcast in my life. Now, of course, I'm trying to remember who caught the ball. Number 7, great wide receiver. Name is on the tip of my tongue right now. And I just remember the dead silence in the Baldwin Wallace press box. They were coming for blood. They thought, this is going to be the year we finally get those suckers. We're going to beat Mount Union, and we're going to beat them at home. They thought the party was going to be on in Berea. And who could blame them? They hadn't beat Mount for years. And they had them at home, and they scored with hardly 30 seconds left in the game. They thought they had us. Their PA guy was whipping everybody up into a frenzy. The stadium was standing. The cowbells were going. They were ready to storm the field. This would have made ESPN. This would have been, you know what I mean? This would have been top 10. And the Purple Raiders scored on the final play of the game. And they get out of there with a win. You have never heard a press box so quiet, except for us. And then I know the Mount Union station, the university, the college radio station, they were screaming and hollering. Everybody else was, you could have heard a pin drop. The fans in the stands, the student section, the BW cheerleaders, they didn't know what to do. They couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. And I looked on the far side where the Mountain fans were just going insane. They couldn't believe it either. And there was some fans and students, and I think some players, fans of some of the players in the end zone when Mount caught the ball and went into the end zone. They're running around in the back of the end zone. It was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. That might be, I mean, look, I've called a couple of national championships. I've called numerous national championship games. I called the Lou Berry, the strip on Meglin for the score. I called the unbelievable comeback in Wisconsin Oshkosh when it was 80 below zero, and we were down 4 or 5 touchdowns in the third quarter. I was like, there's no way. Come back and win. Go to the national championship. But the game in Berea, to me, I think, man, that's got to be up there. That's got to be up there as one of the craziest memories ever of Mount Union football. And you got to remember, in Division III football, you pretty much you got to win them all. You got to win all your games. If you lose one, you're paying the price. You're going on the road. You got a 4, 5, 6, 7 hour bus trip. It's not the way you want to do it.
George on Facebook coming in clutch. Wayne Ruby Jr. caught the pass.
Wayne Ruby Jr. It's number 6, by the way. That's what was screwing me up. Wayne Ruby wore number 6, not number 7. George, thank you for that. I was going to go out of my mind.
That name rings a bell for me, too.
Oh, man.
Heard that name a lot. He caught a lot of passes.
He caught a lot of passes.
Yeah, he did.
He most certainly did.
What was the quarterback that with him?
Now you're good.
George.
George,
come on, man.
Who was the quarterback? Right-handed quarterback. Not a very big fella.
Yeah.
Didn't have like a crazy bazooka cannon for an arm, but somehow got that ball through the wind and the snow, and it got tipped by a BW defender, and Wayne Ruby Jr. caught it and went into the end zone.
Yeah, but he was accurate. Every pass, and it was always him and Ruby. He was always passing it to Ruby.
Yeah. It's
gonna drive me nuts.
Who was the quarter? It was not. Okay, so this was what year was this? We had the year earlier.
18.
Was it 18?
18 was the other one.
The Lou Berry.
That
Lou Berry was 18.
You said this was a couple years ago, so this was like
maybe
21, 22.
Maybe it was longer ago than I thought. I mean, how long's Wayne Ruby been out of Mount Union?
Yeesh.
He's been out 3 or 4 years, I think.
Yeah, so
maybe it's a little further back than I remember. All I know is it was week 10, and it was in Berea.
Braxton Plunk.
It was Braxton.
Yeah.
Yes. And it might have been like one of his first years.
Was it Plunk? I thought it was Clunk the whole time.
Oh, no. It was Braxton Plunk.
Oh, my God.
Number 9, right-handed.
I heard Clunk for years.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I'd have been wrong.
George, thank you for that.
I didn't even know his last name. Thank you, George.
Wow.
Yeah, Plunk to Ruby. Yeah.
Those games are so incredibly awesome if you win. If Mount would have lost that game, probably still would have made the playoffs, probably would have had to travel a lot. Would have been a real tough road. But, man, you talk about, I mean, just the weather conditions themselves. That's not what you want to have to go up against when you hardly have any time left and you got to go 80 yards.
No.
That's just not what you want. And they had, I think they only had one timeout that I remember because they had to use the sideline. And wow, that was, I mean, you talk about crazy drama. I don't think, that may have been the longest post-game show we ever did because we just couldn't keep quiet. We just kept talking. We played the highlight. We talked. We played the highlight. It was insane. We were probably the last people to leave the stadium. Now that I remember. That's how long we were there after the game. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they threw us out of the main press box, and now we're over in a makeshift shanty on the 35-yard line. Maybe that's why they threw us
overstayed
out.
your welcome.
They said we don't have room for this up here. You guys are going to go over there when you're by yourself. So they put us in a little camera bay on like the 30-yard line. Whatever.
Oh, Mark Young on YouTube. He's got a good specific one. Says Mary Hardin Baylor versus Mount Union, December 8th, 2012. National semifinals, down 2 touchdowns. Fourth quarter blocked punt by Raiders. Turned the momentum of the game. Raiders win 48-35. Raiders to the championship.
That's right. 2012.
Woo! Was the year I graduated.
I was not calling games then here yet, but I know of that game. Thank you, Mark.
That was a year before I worked here. Started working here.
Wow. Mary Hardin Baylor. I've called a couple Mary Hardin Baylor games. One was in Houston.
No.
That did not end well.
Oh yeah, that was. Yeah.
Now, we did beat him. We did beat him for a national title, and I think it was 12-0. I don't think Big Bad Mary Hardin Baylor even scored against us that night.
Yeah, that sounds.
It was like a
12-0 rings
defensive.
bell.
Yeah, that was a defensive struggle, but we got the natty.
Well, that's pretty
I remember
standard.
that.
Once Mount gets to the playoffs and we're in the last couple of games, getting up to the Stag Bowl, the scores just get lower and lower.
Well, and the weather
Usually.
gets worse.
Yeah.
Weather gets worse. It gets colder.
The visibility goes down.
Yeah, we've had some wild ones. I remember calling a couple games when Mount would go to the title down when the championship was in Salem. My God.
Yeah.
40, 45 mile an hour winds. And it was cold.
Well, because by the time of the Stag Bowl, it's
December.
January? Okay, it's late December.
It's middle December.
Okay.
Now, this past year, or the year before, the national title game was in January.
Okay, so I thought it was at one point.
Yeah, they just keep spreading it out longer and longer and longer.
Look, you do not want to play football in January in Ohio. That is the worst time of the year in Ohio to be outside at all, really.
Yeah.
January is hell.
But if you're playing in January, that means you're playing for a championship.
That's true.
And at that point,
you do want to be playing in January.
That matters.
But you don't want to be playing in January.
Yeah. Of course, now they've spread the games out. We've gone to Houston. We've gone to Salem. We've gone to Annapolis, Maryland. We've been all over the place. But I'm hoping that day comes here quick, comes soon, when the Raiders get to the national championship again, and it's at Tom Benson Stadium. That's a dream. That's a bucket list for me, personally. We've missed out a couple times, but I'm thinking we're going to get there when the next time comes around. All right, we're going to take our final break. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. You can text the show at 330-944-5179. Keep your comments coming on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Guardians beat the Reds 6-5 in Game 1. Game 2 is coming up tonight at 7:10. I want to see the pitching matchup real quick. Yankees and the White Sox tonight. Garrett Cole is going for New York. Anthony Kay, I believe, is going for the White Sox. All right, Yanks, we need your help again tonight. Let's go. Yanks beat the Sox last night 9-5. We'll see if they can give us a little bit more help tonight. We'll step away. We'll come back with more 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
High school football returns to WDPN Friday night, August 21st. This is Christian Bigglesworth. My partner Derek Dimmitt and I will be calling the action all season long. And the games will also be streaming live on AM 1310's Facebook and X pages, as well as the Q92 YouTube channel. Get ready for another amazing season of high school football, starting August 21st, right here on AM 1310 WDPN.
Hi, my name is Brooke Figgenshoe, and I am the 2025 Carnation Queen. July 30th through August 9th, Alliance is celebrating its designation as the home of the Scarlet Carnation, our state flower. Carnations will be on sale at many of the festival events, as well as at local businesses. Brochures detailing all of the fun festival events are available at the Alliance Chamber of Commerce and area businesses and at carnationfestival.com. Please be a part of Alliance's Carnation Festival.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at www.
Spread your love and light. 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 All around the world, statues grow.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Phone lines open. You want to get a quick call in, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310.
Scooter checking in. Speaking of January football, Ohio State and Tennessee in Columbus when it was 28 degrees.
Oh, that was cold. We kicked Tennessee's ass up and down the field. They thought they were going to roll in. Remember, they bought up all those tickets. They said it was going to be Knoxville, Ohio. They were going to take over the stadium. Yeah, sit down.
Ooh, Mark Young, 1999 triple overtime at John Carroll. Raiders win in a shootout, 57-51.
That was nuts.
That sounds like a hell of a game.
Yeah.
That was 27 years ago.
I was probably listening to that I was probably listening to 1310 that day. Because I know I wasn't at the game. I certainly was not calling it.
Yeah, I wasn't working here.
How long ago was that, you say? 27 years ago?
Yeah.
That'd have been 30.
I was 5.
I was probably watching the Buckeyes, and I probably tuned into the game because I'd heard it was getting. Got to remember now, this is 1999. Information wasn't as quick as it is now. Yeah, because remember 2000, everything was supposed to crash.
Oh yeah, Y2K.
Y2K. Another one of the great scams pulled off.
Look,
in America.
Let me tell you that 5-year-old me was petrified of Y2K. Okay. I remember that because I didn't want to go to sleep that night. I was terrified.
I'm going to tell you what. I remember going out that night, New Year's Eve, 1999.
Yeah, that's where I'd have been if I was old enough.
And I don't think I even gave it a second thought.
I imagine most
I never
people didn't.
thought that, oh my God, when we wake up tomorrow or when the clock hits midnight, that everything's going to go haywire. I honestly never thought about it. That was a long time ago. And, you do what you do when
That's okay.
when you're out and about that. And then, the ball's coming down and I wasn't thinking about, And then we all laughed like the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Y2K.
Well, there was that, and then there was like the 2012 thing where it was supposed to end in 2012, and everybody was freaking out about that.
And people were selling things, trying to make you buy things because it was the end of what a scam.
The world was supposed to end twice within my lifespan, and it still hasn't.
Unbelievable.
Wait, there was a third one, I think, too, but who remembers?
Oh, boy. Nope, I'll just keep my mouth quiet on that one. All right. I did find this was kind of we don't have time. We'll do it tomorrow. I found a highlight of the Wayne Ruby catch.
Yeah, email it to me.
This was actually on ESPN SportsCenter Top 10.
Nice.
And Stan Verrett was talking over the video and telling you what was going on. Maybe we'll run that tomorrow.
Yeah, send me that. We'll run the video. We got to show people that.
I just happened to see that.
I want to see it.
All right. Thanks to Rainsburg. Great job as always. Thanks to all of you for your participation in the show. We look forward to it each and every day. Your comments, your calls, your emails, your thoughts, your text. Really appreciate that. We will be back again tomorrow. We'll do it all over again at 3 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Until then, and as always, go Browns, go Bucks, go Guards, go Cavs. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.